You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour.
This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Oh my God, I hope you've had time to get ready. We're ready. I think we're all ready.
Which is weird.
We're all here.
We're as prepared as we ever get, I think.
I think we're ready to go. In fact, there's so much that has gone on even before the show started. It's insane. It's really kind of crazy for us right now.
And we have to listen to that timer. I wanted them to set one in here. They wouldn't let me, but we're all going to put headphones on.
Can we put it on our phone?
Well, how many?
Why don't we set it on the phone?
Because I just set it on the. Oh, you'll hear it. We hear the cats meow over these goddamn headphones. We'll be able to hear the beep.
That's true. We should have put a microphone by then.
We could have put the wireless.
If I went through all this for burned biscuits.
We could have put a wireless mic in there, but we don't know. But we don't know how much time is left on the timer.
I'd have to walk to the oven.
Fuck, I can't help you with everything.
For those of you playing the home game, it started at 15, so that's where. Oh no, it's supposed to be at 10 after because we started at 6:55.
Oh, okay, good.
According to the atomic clock.
We started, not this show, but what I was doing.
but the cooking, the baking. And tonight, baking is not a metaphor in the show, as far as I know.
No.
Except Marnie did come in very calm, so we're not sure. She's very, very calm.
I did a little wake and bake thanks
did you?
to
I did not.
Frank Healy, whose birthday was last Wednesday, same as someone else's that we know.
Very nice.
And he had just been to Costa Rica and said he would bring me back some coffee. Also known as very smooth crack cocaine. Sweet Jesus. I made a delicious cup of that this morning. They were whole beans and I ground. Oh, delicious. So smooth. But seriously, you couldn't hear anything over my stomach anywhere I went today. It was like, blah, 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 because like my whole body is like, ah! I almost had to have the second cup on the toilet because like,
Why?
because things are moving.
Oh, I see. It was a move and shaking day.
Yeah, I swear to God, he gave me some kind of diet supplement in brown water because no bitterness, the smoothest coffee I've ever drank. The house smells delicious.
Maybe it's a subtle hint.
Because
I think I want some of that.
I really wouldn't put it past you.
Oh, well, like I said, I'm only 20 minutes or so into this mug of coffee that I made, and I'm a little bit hopped up too. So we'll see how the rest of this show goes.
So I'm willing to spread the Costa Rican goodness around, but I need to get me to Costa Rica is what I just learned.
Maybe I should drink coffee more often because it's making me low.
Oh, is that what you're sipping on?
Yeah.
Is that
She's one of those ADHD kids where the caffeine
Right.
effects are like oppositely. Those parents that are pumping their kids full of Diet Pepsi, like,
Yeah, exactly.
calm down.
Right.
Take a Benadryl. Go to sleep. No!
The episode of The Family Guy where they take the girl takes the other kid's Ritalin medicine, and she's like, "I can smell the grass growing."
That's exactly what's happening
And
in
there's
here
so
today.
many.
It could be.
I can't remember if it's Stewie or the little girl that takes the Ritalin, but it's one of the best ones. Google it, find it. His reaction.
Did
I
you
like- I
see
can
the?
imagine
I'm trying to find it real quickly. Did you?
The milk's about to go bad.
The-
And there it goes.
Did you
Maybe
see?
I need some Ritalin.
Did you see the picture or the meme going around? The little girl who's at the baseball game with her parents and she's eating all the cotton candy.
Oh, I did
yeah.
see that one.
Oh my
Haven't
God!
seen
The meme is better if you watch the meme. But if I can get this picture pulled up right quick, it's so funny to see this little girl because she's just. Well, this is the girl. She's just wired.
Whacked out.
That's really
But if you
funny.
see the meme where she like looks around, she goes.
Look at her face is all blue. Hey, do you have
The
pneumonia?
mother's
Do you have
crying, the
pneumonia? Are
father's
you okay? Do you have
I'm gonna have to cancel
Do
a
you have
couple
pneumonia?
campaign
Do you have
stops.
pneumonia?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a popular president to come
Just
and
thought
fill
I'd
in
check
for me.
in. Just thought
Thank
I'd
you.
check in. All right.
Well, I want to be completely clear and transparent.
I think that you should. Yes, I think that you should. I need to see your doctor.
By the way, it's 10 after. Al, go check your.
I gotta go. If we're starting the pneumonia,
Go check your.
go.
What was that thing you said? Check your button muffin. Butter your muffin, fucker. Or what is it you said? Hang on. Well, hang on. I've got it here.
I don't think that was it at all.
Wait, but he's not going to be able to hear it. You
Well,
should
no,
wait
it doesn't.
until he comes back.
We'll
All right,
enjoy
we'll
it.
hear
Yeah, we
Well,
like that.
Oh,
Butter
here.
your cunt flap.
No,
muffins
no, it's
or
this one.
something.
Sit down and butter your muffins, cunt flaps.
I didn't think there was a cunt
There
flap
it is.
involved. That's a shame. I
He's
don't know
probably
that I-
forgotten. My God, that was from July.
Yeah.
I had forgotten.
Gosh, I don't know that I ever want to say that again. I know there was a cunt flap involved.
Something.
You know, there's
Well,
something. Well,
It is a political season.
there's that.
Yes, my gosh, heaven's sakes. I hope Al's muffins came out fine.
Well,
Actually, technically, I think they're biscuits because he calls them the cheddar biscuits.
I believe they're
Oh,
the Cheddar
he's
Bay
making the
biscuits.
Cheddar,
from,
oh, Cheddar Bay.
Yeah.
Oh my
when I
God.
saw that
From the
on
Red
when I
Lobster.
saw that on the Facebook, I didn't understand how you did not know that, and then I recalled that you weren't here that week because it
Correct.
took me a minute when I gave those to him. And
Oh,
I'm like,
how-
does she
how I
not
didn't know that they were in
Yeah,
possession?
I'm like, what? Why is she so surprised about this?
because I wasn't here.
Oh, I see.
And I forgot all
And then it
about
all
them.
came back to me now.
And I
like,
think it was the
that's
show
Celine
that I
Dion's
looked
song.
for maybe on the YouTubes, and maybe there was a technical difficulty.
There may have been.
Maybe.
We don't know.
They're all up.
It's now known as the Black Album, I think.
Oh,
Well, there you have it.
now all the audio's up though. Now I mean,
Yes.
you may not be able to get to it on the old YouTubers
die.
because Show 271 still silent. Don't know why. Haven't figured that one out yet. And then
Because we didn't have much to
and
say.
then Show 274. Oh no. Well, apparently Madonna had a lot to say about it because she shut us down.
Oops.
But apparently then was it
Fucking Madonna.
week before last? It was an all black show.
Yeah.
I don't mean the cast. I mean
see.
like the show. It was like we were just sitting here with no lights on because the whole it's just audio.
Was that at Al's request?
Oh, probably.
One armed. Turn the lights off.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We
We
couldn't
don't know.
tell.
We're not sure. Okay.
Can you stand on your head? Nope.
Nope.
Got it.
Maybe. You don't know.
You don't know.
I am right now. You don't know.
You can't
Yeah,
prove
so,
it.
so that was the break in that information chain.
Sure. Very good.
Well, there's a lot of
me a
breaks in
minute.
information chains
So
in this
confused.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
sometimes we just don't listen.
to each other in this
even,
room.
Even when
Right
we're
now,
right
yeah.
here.
And
Right.
sometimes I type messages in our little message board room for the four of us, and I misspell stuff, and it completely changes the meaning of what I mean. Like last week, I inadvertently spelled not instead of now.
Right.
I put the
Oh,
message.
yes.
All shows are not posted, and Kat's like, "Did I do something wrong?" Now,
Right.
damn it! Now they're now posted.
Is that a typo
Oh,
or is that me?
Look at what Al has
Oh
brought
my
us.
goodness!
Look
Look,
at
at that,
that.
glorious.
Look at it. It's beautiful.
magic.
And of all the things, the person who
Oh, those
who lives
smell
here
good.
and I don't bake or do any of that.
Oh, whoa. Watch out.
trying to find the bottom of it. I'm like,
Well, that's what, you know.
I have a cake
in the
stand.
It's
middle.
all good.
It's in the middle.
Very nice.
Can we see? Oh my God! Look, you can see the cake stand in the shot there. Look at that.
Oh,
It's right at
thank
Al's
you,
crotch.
sir.
That's where a
Thank
cake
you.
stand should be.
It's Cleverly.
I get-
Thank you, darling.
Thanks for bacon.
Oh my God! If we could have bacon in these too.
Fuck you. I didn't even think of that.
Oh my.
Next time.
Well, we don't want to overdo. Oh, look at that. Now these are available at your local.
Were you about to say we don't want to overdo it?
No, we don't want to. No, we want to save something for next time.
We're all about restraint. So, did you get one? Okay.
I did. Thank you.
Would
now
you
you
like?
gotta fight me for the rest
Now,
of it.
please share with the staff or
Oh, I
the,
miss
all the
Perkins.
listeners.
Yeah, Cal, I miss Perkins
Share what
so much.
we're doing, what we're eating here.
Oh my god.
Are they
Yeah,
The
okay?
fucking shit.
Very busy.
I'm gonna have to have a bite here.
Molly, turn off your radio.
Oh.
It's gonna be some lip smacking and taco
Oh, by the way,
crunching.
Yeah, so good.
the audio we played from you just a minute ago was this one. Oh wait, where'd it go? Yeah, this
Sit
one.
down and butter your muffins, cunt flap.
That was what we had.
That's a good one.
I like how
a
delighted
good
I
one.
sounded with the person I was talking to.
Whoever that was.
They
I'm
are,
afraid that
Dum
is
Dum. They
delicious.
are.
Oh my God.
Well, that's just not okay.
This is lovely.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Had I realized, I owe you an apology because I didn't realize that I needed to go immediately to Costco. I
You're
should have
regretting
just,
all of the last 3 weeks.
I
now.
should have just stopped the show in its tracks and left. Actually, I could have
Yes.
just left and gone and come back.
And I'd have still been doing entertainment.
You three. That's true. These are tasty little morsels. Now, where's the? Did you already drizzle the secret sauce on them?
Oh yeah, that's why they're so moist. That's why you
They're
eat them
shiny.
immediately.
I thought
That's why
the-
they're shiny.
Oh, there was going to be more.
There's cheese melted inside. There's butter melted on top. This is the fucking shit.
on, you-
This
Oh, water.
is why I can't do this. This is my reason for living. This is my raison d'etre.
Wow.
There you have it.
You guys in the chat room discuss amongst
Cheddar
yourselves.
Bay
The first
biscuits.
25 minutes of this show is going to be just eating these biscuits. Then we're going to carry on.
I told you.
And
So what did you do last?
It's a good
So
uniform.
before you ate
I
that
think.
muffin,
It's
what'd
a
you
good
do?
Uniform. Well,
So I have become
What in your life paled in comparison prior to this moment?
all of it. Although I did have Cheddar Bay biscuits of the same box and variety on Sunday, much to my delight.
So the
Because-
gays are eating biscuits again, huh?
The gays are eating biscuits again, apparently,
Well,
or the fatties I hang out with.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't know.
Brittany's coming out
she
with a
just
new
called
album.
you.
I'll work it off.
She just called you fat. Just saying.
Can't hide it. Can't get another dark show.
Listen, I'm
Actually-
standing right there with you.
In this, none of us can swing that bat. I mean, we're all pretty much in that.
Totally there.
I felt pretty.
Maybe
good
we
about
should
it.
make it a stand-up show. We should all just
Fuck
stand
you.
during. No.
Nope.
Only
not
if the
gonna
desk comes up too.
Get podiums.
Yeah, we can all
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
It'll be like a big debate.
We stood facing each
By the
other
way,
on podiums.
no moderator.
That's probably for the best.
That is,
I think it would be.
Amazing. So by and large, I've become a big like antisocial hermit lately. But we had made plans and we had been kind of pushing off the plans a couple of times just because of different things, like not wanting to and schedules and things.
and things. Yeah. You
But anyway, no, so some friends of ours invited us over for Sunday lunch or brunch or whatever.
Something.
Yeah.
They're gay. It was brunch.
They were providing food. I showed up. And much to my surprise and excitement, because I had just that morning on social media been discussing the Cheddar Bay biscuits, I show up and what do my wondering eyes do appear but
Lo
a
and
box
behold.
of Cheddar Bay biscuits right there on the counter.
Right there.
Right there.
My God.
So that I believe that was the only noteworthy thing that I've done all week.
So biscuit to biscuit coverage is what you've just offered us.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. There's got to be something else.
I opted
Really?
to not leave my house yesterday. I watched Thoroughly Modern Millie with
Mary Taylor Moore.
yes, Mary Tyler Moore
wow.
and Julie Andrews.
Watch
that today.
We're going to
That was
need
nice.
an update, however, on the
Please.
newspaper saga. What are there any new developments with the newspaper of when you get it, when you don't get it?
I appear to have a Sunday Wednesday subscription
Oh,
because now I'm 2 weeks in a row of that happening,
okay.
which is fine with me.
Right.
And otherwise, no, it showed up.
But nobody's called you to say, hey, we screwed up, we're giving this to you, or by the way, we're sorry, you're getting it, we don't know why. Nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean I called them and the woman sounded reasonably confused, but assured me that everything was updated and fixed,
Yeah.
and the newspaper showed up ever since. So.
I'm going to guess she's probably
gonna
from
go
the
with
same
it.
call center that Helen Purcell and the county recorders are probably trying to figure out election ballots still.
They may.
She might
they
be a little
might share staff.
It could very well be.
I'm not really sure.
Could very well be, yeah.
But yeah, the newspaper seems to be going along swimmingly. I informed my oldest child today because he'd been away for the weekend at his dad's house, and they come home on a Tuesday. And I said, "Hey, look what I showed! Look what I saved you!" And I pulled up the comic section, and he was very excited. So I'm corrupting them the same way I was corrupted long
Fair.
ago.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
By the way, there was maybe I need to talk to Sharon about this, but there was supposed to
Maybe.
be some sort of a weekend where I fixed a lawnmower, and the child comes here and he leaves here with a bike and a fixed lawnmower,
I feel like that was a thing.
and it never has come to fruition. But
Yeah, I'll call Sharon.
okay, because I'm looking to get this bike out of my house. Is really what I was hopeful
Oh,
for.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'll talk to her
All right. All right. Let me figure this out. When's the birthday for the kid?
soon.
Oh, is it?
End of October.
Oh my God! Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Beautifully realized.
Yeah, that's great. So we can fix the bike, do this, do that. Yeah, got it.
I love it. I'm gonna have her reach out to you.
Don't have her
soon.
call me. Just have her message me on
Clearly,
Facebook.
no, we don't call.
I don't want to actually talk to anybody.
That would be
Fair.
weird.
That's fair.
I mean, if you'll all notice, this show is only one way. It's outbound. I mean, you guys can't talk to us. You can just type to us. So that's how this all works.
Listen, I'm in hermit mode. I almost didn't leave my house today.
You could have phoned in. It's not nearly as fun.
I thought about it.
Oh, and shoving these biscuits through the fucking
I'd have
phone
missed
is a
the
bit-
biscuits. That
yeah.
would have sucked. I'm really glad I decided to
does.
show up today.
yeah.
That's a
Marina.
good thing.
Marnie.
So I
Oh, and by the way, no hat. Applaud. You have no hat today. And
you
I
don't
am.
have.
The
I'm-
hair looks adorable.
It does.
Well, thank you.
I'm in
That's
full hat
very
mode.
Yeah, but and it always looks good though.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I've been sitting at my computer since 8 this morning, and I'm like, I didn't want to fucking get up and do my hair.
I thought, well, I might as well try it just to make sure that I still have hair. You know, to wear the hat all the time. You don't know.
Many people are
but-
saying yes.
Yes.
Many people.
Yes.
Many.
Menti people. Believe me, they do.
Beautiful people.
The best.
The best people.
The best people, all the people,
Oh.
really. Anyway, I
lonely
went
people.
to. Aaron and I got to go to a show on Saturday that was really quite amazing. It was called In the Heights. Familiar.
Yep.
Really, Aaron has played. It's Lin-Manuel.
Yeah, Miranda. Yep.
I have
And-
We've
literally,
heard of him.
I have
Yeah.
literally 30 tickets to
Yeah.
that on October 2nd.
Nice, because I was going to say, like, all I wanted to do was text you and be like, get tickets to this, because amazing.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
a great show.
Thanks, Drew. They said that or Aaron did. I don't know. Help me out, babe. The set was the original. They thought, or something to that effect, which I guess was a big deal.
It
And,
wasn't. It's not a particularly big set. Very Sesame Street-ish.
Yeah, and the singing was, Aaron was really expecting that it would be, maybe a little bit more local theater.
No, they're
kind of.
pulling some shit off at Phoenix Theater. I gotta tell you,
Wow.
because they got Les Mis done, and I was really impressed with that. But they ship in. They
well,
throw
whatever
the
they
net.
did.
They throw the net out and get some people from around the country to come in and work with them because their reputation's good. And
Whatever they did was really. I fell in love with Benny. So
Were the Jets there?
No, not that day.
Oh.
They will be on the second. But his voice was just. It was like butter. It was like butter.
hoping to fit that in.
And the person who played Sonny was my favorite. Absolute favorite. So
Yeah.
when you say it, really, and the two gals that came out and just started singing, we just thought, well, come on, Vanessa and is it Lena? No, something like that.
I don't remember the character
And
names.
Lana something. Anyway, but the two of them were
remember the other
really, really something. So yeah, and the person looks like Lin-Manuel Miranda. The main
Really?
person on there, yeah. So
Usnavi?
Usnavi, yep. So that was pretty cool. So I was really excited that we got
Which
to
theater
do
was
that.
this?
Phoenix.
It's Phoenix Theater.
Oh,
It's,
you
it's
said
right
it.
there
I'm sorry.
behind
Right.
the art museum.
Got
Yeah,
it. Got
we
it.
went. The last thing that I saw there, I believe, was with you guys, Hairspray.
Yeah, which
when
they did
we-
another one they did a really good
Yeah,
job with.
it was really quite good. So, but that was a lot of fun. We're gonna go see Cabaret on Sunday.
Oh, let's do matinee or evening.
Matinee.
Oh, so Doug and I.
Matinee. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going with Aaron's mom and her best friend, Sid, and we're gonna go, the four of us. So that'll be nice.
Yeah,
Hopefully we'll get to see you.
completely fucked up my schedule.
Okay.
So
To be able to go.
You do that about once a year, it seems like. I don't know how you do it, but you do.
I had weeks messed up when I was making plans and thought I couldn't see Cabaret, and then bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, nice.
I
And
there
ended
it
up
is.
heading off and was able to get a couple of good seats for reasonable prices the other night.
Good. Well, that's exciting. We'll get to see you
1
on
o'clock in the
Sunday.
morning, I was like, I'll take 2 seats.
Yeah, that'll be a delight. Sold. And then a very, very exciting thing happened yesterday. There was a lot of drilling, and I wasn't at the dentist.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Let it go.
All right.
Yep.
This coffee's good.
Thanks, Mama
Did,
Di. Thank you, honey.
haven't you let it go?
Yeah, I let it go in like
questions.
91.
Yeah.
Yeah. right around Lent.
and didn't
Everybody was doing it.
Except me.
Well,
you leave the drilling zone?
yeah, I left. I'm out of here. Is right. There will be no fracking. That's all. I had a delightful gentleman come out and drill my entire house for termites.
Oh, that's a good time. That's.
yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that.
that was exciting.
I had that
Feels
last
like
year
a
when I
lot
got
of
back
fun.
from vacation.
Is this purely preventative, or were they already there?
Oh no, they're having lunch, dinner. It's a smorgasbord.
Well, your
really
whole
at my
house.
Yeah, I know what.
This is going to sound stupid to say, but Marnie's entire house is made out of wood. Like the exterior is all the wood paneling, not paneling, but I guess it's
Well, kind of. It's like from an ice house, and it's from like a
Right. It's
sugar
a
mill
ru-
thing.
it's a
so
rustic
it's
wood-
Rustic, yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, they're having a. they're having a family fucking reunion there, and everybody came in.
Now, is your house actually? Is it brick
It
under
is
that?
brick. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not the area that they're all eating though.
Oh, of course.
No.
Well, brick's a little harder to eat.
Hard to eat.
It sure is.
I was
It
thinking
sure
that
is.
too. I was
Sure
like, oh.
is.
Where it's the little family room kind of thing, where right off the kitchen, where it was added on, and I've been there 25 years, so I can't get real upset that this is just now kind of
Right,
coming
yeah.
about. But you walk out front, and the little eaves that are right there, you can just kind of go like that, and you're
Oh,
like,
wow.
oh. And in the storms, the wind,
Yeah.
but they've helped.
Yeah.
Just there. Oh, good.
Yeah,
I didn't have to do
I think
that.
my garage needs a treatment because when they came last time and told me the amount, I'm like, let's just do the house.
Sure.
How about we just do the house?
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Well,
Oh,
they
it
did
can be like up to
the-
$900. It's,
Oh.
It was
it's
a little
pricey
bit more
shit.
than that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because they did that in the pool house, then they just like all of it. I was like, just do that.
Let's do it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was like, let's let them eat the garage till I'm ready.
No, I understand that, but I thought it's connected enough that if we're going to do it right now,
Yeah.
why not? So
You're like the Marie Antoinette
Yeah.
of termites. You're like, just let
so
them
that
eat
was
the garage.
very,
She's
very
like in the garage.
exciting. So it's going to look like Dorothy and the Wizard of
Right.
Oz
The
coming up
termites
with
have
that.
no house. Let
No.
them eat the garage.
Look at the good I do.
So that was very exciting.
Yeah,
Very
I'm sorry to
exciting.
hear that.
No, but it's okay. It was.
I don't like the way you use exciting.
It is what
You know-
it is. I mean, what do you do?
As,
You know?
as,
Yeah,
as
it's
long
the
as,
joys of homeowners.
right.
Homeownership? Yeah.
Ownership.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, for as long as I have known you, you've been in that house.
Yep.
But it's one thing after another. It really is. It's always been that way with that whole setup.
Well, it's any house after 25 years.
Well,
you got to practically rebuild a motherfucker.
It is, but it's one of the where I'm just like, meh, whatever. It is, you know, and if for that kind of thing, fine.
That air
But
conditioning's working good though, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Ugh.
It is.
I wish I had
And then
your
it
air
was funny.
conditioning.
Like all of a sudden, I go to. It's been 8 years that we've had that air
Oh
conditioner.
wow, has it
and
been
I
that
think,
long?
No, I need another one.
No. You've got a train unit on your roof.
Right.
You'll be fine for a long time.
You have a
Yeah,
train
hopefully.
set?
Yeah, I do.
And it's
Choo-choo.
I always think about how damn quiet your air conditioner is. That's what I love about it. You can't even hear it run.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
what I love
quiet.
about it.
I'm not mad about that.
I love the things that perk you up.
Well, I don't like to hear it run, and
I know.
for two reasons. One, every time you hear it come on, don't you like cringe and think, oh, fuck,
well,
my
that's a
power
lot of
bill's-
money.
My power bill's going up.
Right.
So
I
if we
must
just-
have a quiet air conditioner.
Yeah.
Because I had a conversation the other day with somebody on this same topic about how, like, they can't sleep in the daytime because the air conditioning
kicks
kicks on and
on,
wakes them
sure.
up. And I'm like, Christ Lord,
wow.
what is happening in your air conditioner?
It's
How
like
light
the,
of a sleeper
it's
are
like the
you?
engine room of the Titanic down there. It's like, boom, 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 boom,
That's
boom.
what I'm picturing.
See, that kind of shit puts me to sleep, though. Like, I could probably sleep in the engine room of the Titanic. I'd be like,
Eventually
oh,
the
it's
noises
warm,
become
it's cozy,
soothing.
It's white noise.
The water lapping at my face. All the things that were going on. on the
Where's
engine
Jack?
room. Yeah.
Where's Jack? He's here somewhere.
He was with me till that
Slight
redheaded bitch
rocking
came
of the
along.
door.
Yeah. Jesus.
That's fantastic.
Oh,
So I just worked.
Water
and,
is calling.
Yeah, I watched some of the, and I shouldn't have, the documentaries on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
The very touching special that they had on CNN.
the one from inside the towers.
Yes, the
That
French
I watched the
documentary.
whole thing. It was wow.
Which I saw, you know, I think they played it the first year, the fifth year, and now this year. I think they just whip it out every 5 years now. So I hadn't seen it, forgot how truly upsetting it is. And then now that it's been 15 years that the Proby is that much older, and now he's a lieutenant, and he's like the wizened 15-year veteran, and you're like, or wizened, I'm not sure how you use that word.
Potato. It sounds the
Yeah,
same.
but it really was, and it was a little rougher than I needed it to be, and I was just kind of like, well, guess I'm done.
Well, no, and I would have thought that too. I don't want to diminish it by any means at all. It was impactful and it was astounding, and to see it from that level when they're actually experiencing it. But I was thinking of you the entire time for two reasons. One, you're the one who pointed out to me, because I guess I never realized it, though I had seen it before, that in that sequence, you're gonna have to tell me what sequence it is from The Wiz, where they do it it's in the plaza between the two towers.
You have to be seen green.
Okay, so that's done there, which I didn't realize. But the other one is, I realized, like, I don't. Have you been to New York City?
I have.
Okay, and you? I've been one time, but even when I was there in '93, I don't recall looking and seeing the towers. I'm sure I did. I didn't. I was in
there
such a.
2 years post 9/11.
Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously they wouldn't have been there. I get that, but
I feel like
didn't.
no, they were gone.
I didn't. I didn't think about. I was in such a different whirlwind. When I went,
Yeah.
it wasn't a big thing to me. I didn't spend, I was there not even 48
And
hours.
depending on where you are in Midtown, you couldn't see all the way down and see them. Like the buildings are so high where you
I was
are
at
that you can't
53rd
see a
and-
great
I
distance.
was at 53rd and Lexington was
so
where our
I mean,
hotel
you have to like get to the park or somewhere where the buildings kind of go away to see them.
But I thought about you because I know how much time you've spent in the city, and and you know that entire area. Like you've been all over it.
And the thing about it from the movie Trick is when where Matt used to live in the Village was right above Caliente Cab Company, and so the movie Trick takes place right at that subway station at that payphone that I used to use at the time, and the guy that I used to fool around with was always trying to tell me how to like save money, like to catch the cab, so you were catching the cab the right way, you didn't have to go around the block on the one-way street. So he was like, just find the towers and go the other way, and that's how he would always say it, like, that's downtown, you want to go uptown with your cab, so make sure you're on a street that goes uptown. And I was like, oh, okay, because I had my little song for the subway, you know, the Bronx is up, the battery's down, so I always know if I need to go uptown or downtown.
Right.
That'll be stuck in my head and I won't sleep for a week. But, and then, so...
We'll do the choreography later.
So just
Bull
to
ride and
add
hold
on
the
to that,
ground.
so that the documentary that you were talking about was called Hotel Ground Zero, and that was the story of the Building 3. That was the story of the hotel between the two
Okay,
towers.
so that is Building 3. I didn't realize it
Yeah,
was
that was
3.
Building 3, and it's like the Marriott.
It was the Marriott.
Yeah, the Marriott. So that's
I was talking about that last week.
Yeah.
But I saw that one, and then I saw the one that you're talking about
Yeah.
with the French guys.
And what's his face from SNL? Oh no, I can't think of that kid's name. Hopefully, I wrote it down, and I was on that page. The young Pete Davidson, the young guy
Oh,
with the
his
big
dad.
teeth. His dad was a fireman, and he died in that part of that
Oh.
documentary. He's one of the firemen that died trying to save people in that hotel.
Oh.
So that was all over the roast
roast.
of Rob Lowe.
Oh, okay.
So that, because one of his jokes was, this isn't the worst thing that's ever happened in my life that involved a plane, when he made some awful joke about Soul Plane 2. And I was like kind of uncomfortable with how many 9/11 jokes they were telling
Like
at his
a lot of
expense. And
people
then,
were, right.
and then he jumped in and told one. So then I accidentally yesterday, after seeing all that and being a little emotional, I alphabetically went to the wrong theater, showed up at the wrong time to see a comedy, and ended up like walking into Sully unexpectedly. I had gone to see Bad Moms, but I had looked at the wrong theater, and the only thing showing when I was standing there was Sully. So I went in, and I never thought about the counter programming and like the genius of that they give you a story like with a happy ending and a plane in New York City.
Right.
And it's such
sure.
a well done
It is.
movie.
Saw it Saturday.
Oh, and it felt like it was 25 minutes.
Aaron.
When that ended, I was like, this movie's over? Like, that's it? It was just so well done. And I didn't stop crying from like about 5 minutes in until it ended. I never got lower than a sniffle. I was like so moved by everybody's performance and like just the whole thing.
Well-
Right up to the ending card, like, you know, when they give you the since 2009,
Yes.
no
Right.
planes have landed in the Hudson, you know, that kind of shit
Right.
that they do at the end of a movie.
Yeah.
Like the ending of that, and like there was applause in the theater, and I was like, it was very good.
It was a little unnerving to me because the way, and we all know how it turns out, the story, but in the movie, if you don't understand what we're talking about, the movie from Sully, it's not, I mean, it is about the flight and the water landing, but really it's about what they put him through
About
after
the
it.
aftermath.
Right, and it's unfortunate that they're questioning him after he saved everybody's life and everything went well and it was just amazing, but yet they're going to put him through everything
And they
because
tried to
of
vilify him.
right. But what I wasn't prepared for is that opening of that movie, because I knew it was 9/11 anniversary weekend and I knew what we were going to see, but it never occurred to me. Obviously, that happened post 9/11.
Yeah.
So his thoughts obviously were, when he's in this plane in the air before they water landed, I don't want to go into a building. I don't want to go into a populated area. So he's
Yeah,
nightmaring.
that even if this is if it's ditch the plane, you have to ditch it somewhere safe so you
Right.
don't hurt anybody else.
But I wasn't ready for that. When he has that dream sequence in his head and he awakens from this nightmare, it was unnerving to me because they show a few planes going into buildings and I'm like, did nobody realize what weekend this is? It was a little weird for me.
Yeah, and I think it was just counter programming of how about a happy story.
But it was very very good. I thought the way they told it was great because they're already into it and then they go back and they they go through everything. It was a great movie. It really
And
was.
I don't think, and Aaron's saying that they added a lot of actionable scenes. I don't think they did. I think they just added a little bit more drama to the back and forth of the simulations. Because I had heard that about the.
I knew nothing about those.
I had heard that about the simulations, that they were saying could he, couldn't he, and that they ruled that no. And then and it takes place over maybe a day and a half. I think the movie takes place over 36 hours.
Okay.
And it felt like it was 36 minutes long. Like it just felt like a very short
It
movie.
did feel short.
Wow.
I was expecting this to be some long epic drama, but I think they just maybe just heightened people's characters a little bit. Like they
Sure.
made somebody like maybe a little bit more questioning than probably he was. But there's going to be an NTSB meeting, and somebody's going to offer a simulation, and somebody's going to counterpunch. So like, there was no bad guys in the movie, and there was no one that was like, you're gonna get it for this. There was none of that shit. It was
it was all routine questioning. But
Yeah.
I do like the fact that he brought up nobody factored in the human factor in this.
Yeah.
And then when they came back and were like, how many times did he get to practice it?
17. Yeah. So I mean, it's an interesting movie, but it just is a story of, and his questions of it was just him questioning everything. So it was very well done.
It was, I thought it was very well, and you completely forget that it's Tom Hanks even doing it.
And I was expecting them to go way more dramatic with that. But I mean, sure, Aaron, you watch Star Trek. Fuck you with the fictional scenes. Like he's running. Like, what is your point?
But what I also want to know is
If there's a conversation between two people in an elevator, yes, you have to make something up.
I want to go back now, and I'm sure it's probably online somewhere. I want to know how they made the movie, because there were a couple shots that they used of actual news footage of the plane, literally, and that's from the day that it happened. But that entire scene where the plane's in the water and they're doing the whole thing, I'd like to know a little bit more about how they did that, because it looks like they're literally sitting. Maybe they just took it off Santa Monica Pier and they're just sitting in the water. I don't know.
And the one thing they didn't show that I thought was cool was after it happened and they floated the balloons or whatever they did to hold the plane up so it would stay afloat.
The lifeboats?
I thought
They're
no,
the
not
slides.
that. Like later, after everybody was off, they put in some kind of ballast balloons.
Okay.
And had the plane and they kind of
They
floated.
they
the plane.
pulled it to the side, if I'm not mistaken.
It was. So I thought that I wanted a little bit more
Now-
so what'd you do with the plane?
Well, now
Now that everybody lives.
Now, did you
Sorry,
watch?
Aaron, I didn't mean so nasty.
Now, did you watch the entire credits at the end, to the very
Yeah.
very end? Okay, so they're standing in a hangar, and I believe that that's the plane. I
Yeah.
may be okay. So that I want to know more about. Okay, how'd you get the plane out of the water? Did you disassembled obviously the wings? We moved it to this hangar. Here's the plane.
Well, if you because I love plane crash videos, so if you watch some of the things like the TWA plane, if you watch the thing about the TWA 800, which I think we're close to the anniversary of, or it was over the summer, you can see that piece by piece found in the ocean, they have rebuilt that plane.
I have seen. And, well, is that the one where it's all spread all over the hangar? That's a mile wide, like
no,
a
it
huge
kind of
thing?
looks like they put it together.
Where the
like a-
pieces are almost hanging in midair. And
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I've seen
craziness.
that. But no, that was fascinating to me. I'd like to know more about
Yeah,
that. So
so
I'll
that
have
was-
to research that. Well, but that was seeing the movie for me. That was Saturday night. That wound up being a dinner and a movie with my mom and I on Saturday night, which we hadn't done in a while. But we always like to go see movies that are factual. Like we saw Argo, we saw Lincoln. I don't really give a shit about going to see movies that are all certainly not action movies. I don't care about fictional. So anyway, that was good. But what I did on Friday, the previous Sunday, I'd run into some friends. I don't know if you know Eric Carmody. Do you know? You might from the theater people around here. Eric Carmody.
That name is really
used to
familiar.
be a stage manager for Phoenix
yeah,
Theater.
yeah.
Well, Mark Howard of the Fez Switch, those restaurant chains, they used to work together because Mark Howard was a producer of different plays and they'd work together. They were talking and they brought up the show that I'd never seen, Pageant.
Oh Jesus! Oh God, I hope you went and saw that.
I did. Friday night, they convinced me to go. I'm like, I'll go. So, and it was LGBT night, so you got a discount code. So I got to see it for $25 as opposed to 50 or and higher, depending on where you were sitting. Didn't know what I was in store for at all, other than they said it's a pageant with drag queens in it, and I'm like, okay, can't be any worse than anything I've suffered through already in my life. It was.
Been to these before.
It was, with the exception of a couple things where it gets a little dry, and you're like, I needed this to move on. It was so cute, so well done. The guys that do it, because there's six contestants in this pageant. It's very, very cute how they go through all their different scenes and do it. And I fell hopelessly in love with one of the cast members, which you might know. His name is oh God, Eddie. Oh fuck, I can't believe I just lost his name. Eddie
Julio Rodriguez?
No, hang on, I'll find him.
I was
But
guessing.
anyway,
True love then.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
True
I
love.
love him. Bill.
no Eddie, not Eddie.
Bill!
I want to say Eddie Sandoval, but that's not right. Anyway, he's been in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. He's a local guy.
No.
Not Eddie Hernandez. That's not right. Anyway, he played a bartender in an episode of Kimmy Schmidt. A cute kid. He plays two characters, and they're all so flippin' talented. They sing and dance. They all change characters. And then after the show was over, they all came out. They took off all the costumes and they came out in the lobby and they did like an hour and a half cabaret, where with the
fun.
piano they all sang. The one who choreographed and did and directed most of the play, he had put together this big medley, and they all sang snippets. It was a medley put together of all big snippets of big songs from all different musicals, everywhere from Streisand to the kid I'm talking about sang "Poor Unfortunate Souls." They would go into each other's songs. It was very charming. And what I always forget, and this is one of the things that you led into this, Marnie, by saying you went to to live theater and all. You forget, and for me, you go to theater a lot more than I do, but you forget how damned enjoyable it is to go and watch somebody live do something on a stage in front of people, and just it's fantastic. A movie obviously is edited and recut and redone.
Oh, but there's nothing like live.
But live theater is just amazing.
And you're just transfixed by the fact
Totally.
that, like, you think we were in this New York ghetto kind of barrio thing on Saturday night. There's
Yeah.
no two ways about it.
Right, you're
and then they
transported.
kind of feed off your energy. Like the more you enjoy it, the more they give out. It's
Yeah.
and they love you, and you love them for loving you. It's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It's
was
just a big fucking hug.
And
I like it.
that's the show that Buddy Early complained about. And one of our first shows is a show that local theaters just kept doing and doing. But it turned
one?
into like the gay pageant. It turned
Oh,
into like the
okay. Gay
King and I. Like, just put it on. They're gonna come.
Right.
Everyone knows how good it is.
Right.
So, but it actually has
Hey,
been
John
probably
Jay.
about 10 or 12 years since it's been done around here.
Okay.
And there's a part with ventriloquism that
Yes.
is just fucking wrong.
I was not ready for that.
And Rob Aloka and I saw this years ago, and we knew a couple people in the cast, and the one guy that he had a crush on at the time was playing the one that does the ventriloquism. And I was like, okay, it really was funny, but he just could not let it go. And I'm like, okay, you got to, when like intermission or something, I'm like, what happened there? And he's like, that guy walks around ASU and he's been like talking to himself for a month. He's like, I thought he was so cute, but the last month all he's done is talk to himself.
He's rehearsing.
He's rehearsing and he's trying to talk without moving
great.
his lips. And it was so funny because he's like, oh, I wrote him off like 3 weeks ago as being completely insane. And I'm like, well, it probably is. That's a fair assessment.
The gentleman I'm speaking about is named Eddie Maldonado. Here he is. He is adorable.
Oh, totes
so
adorbs.
so talented. Great singer,
Yeah,
dancer.
really a cutie.
Plays two characters in pageant. He plays the I forget what his title is. The pageant queen was, but it's a Latina character, and then he's the one that's voted off, and he plays the second character that's got the fat suit on. It was just hilarious.
Yeah,
they're so funny. But when
That's a hot man.
when he walked out, well, we had to stay for the cabaret. I had to stay for the whole damn thing. It was
Surprised you
charming.
didn't stay for his toweling off afterwards.
Well, I've already subscribed to his YouTube channel, and I've already got. But he's a local kid. He's actually from Phoenix. I guess.
so you know his home address?
I don't know yet. But I guess I
Followed
believe.
him home
by
from the
there.
theater.
I believe he lives in New York now. But he's traveled cruise ships, done different series, TV, movies, different things. But very talented. But anyway, the whole gist of that was, I really need to go see live theater more because it
Yeah.
is just so enjoyable to go see it. And the other thing the next day I was kind of feeling down because it's like you see it and you're so inspired by it and you're like, why didn't I ever do that?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
Oh, because life got in the way and I didn't have time to go do those things. And you second guess, where did I go wrong in life? What one thing did I do wrong?
Yeah. what
But
one
I always
corner?
think like those kind of things. Why not try it?
I'm not saying I'm a
Was a
singer
hell
or a
of a trip to
dancer.
the
No,
theater
but
that all of a
the-
sudden you're questioning all of your life choices.
No, I really am.
But you
Because
do.
to
It has
me,
to be a
that
good
was me.
show.
That was me at 10 years old when I saw Annie on stage. It's like, my life is over.
No, but
these
it's-
girls are so
This time
talented.
is not
it's
gonna
not that
come
my
out.
life is a a disappointment.
Sure.
I look at it and
I
I
said that
think
at
of,
10.
I see how much fun they're having. I
Yeah.
realize it's massive work. I'm not questioning it.
Yeah.
But it's huge work, but it's so much fun, and they get to be everybody and anybody in all these different shows. And I just think to myself, I could have done that. Again, I'm not a singer.
That could have
not
been me.
It could have been a contender.
A contender.
Scrapbook full of me in the background.
But, however, I have been able to play the part of building sets
What did it get?
and stage directing a couple different things myself, so that was kind of fun.
Well,
But anywho,
Thanks a lot. Out with the garbage. Just gonna Mama Rose your ass.
good thing.
I had a
I
dream.
dreamed it for you, June. Wasn't for me, baby.
I completely understand what you're saying. I looked at Aaron and I said, because not my thing is not about that, obviously.
I gotta
No,
find the
'cause
one
I don't
person in the
know,
room that I
whatever.
know what the fuck they're saying.
Because whatever.
You two talk, we'll talk.
After they get done, then it's like whatever. But I said the same thing to Erin because she was always very into theater and all that, and I thought she's like, "Oh, I would have loved to have done that." And there was one character that was in there that wasn't as good, and she, you always feel like, "Well, I could step into that and do that."
And I have learned the hard way to keep my mouth shut about that person because
you don't know. Who's
one
around you.
one time I felt free to
I know this story.
critique someone's performance, and I got to turn around and like, that's my son. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh.
Sure.
There's really no digging yourself out of
No,
that.
there's not. There's
You
nothing you can do.
just kind of
Yeah.
like, all right, well, asshole hat, here it is.
See, I have none of those ambitions, and I even explained it to my kid the other day because he says, I said, "Hey, you want to do some theater?" And he's like, "Nah." I'm like, so I said to him, I said, that theater needs way more audience members than actors. I feel like we're good. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah,
just gonna keep buying
we're
the tickets.
we're fulfilling our part.
Right.
Or like Celeste Holmes says in All About Eve, nothing in my life prepared me to be anything but third row center at the theater.
I feel like not enough in my life has prepared me to be third row center at the theater.
Well,
Now I'm questioning where my life has gone wrong.
Well, there you
It's a
have it.
perspective I hadn't thought of.
I mean, I just read your comment that you were quoting Al. It would tote stay for his telling us.
Yuppie approval statement.
Well, and when you
Find
were,
him on the Facebooks. It's Eddie Maldonado.
The traditional spelling.
Yeah.
Right. He's a lovely.
I lived on Maldonado
M-A-L
Drive Road
Donato.
Boulevard.
I'd lived on him. Yeah. But then I had flashbacks. I thought about him, then I had flashbacks to something else you and I understand. Then I'm like, I don't know that I can go through that again. Because remember, if you don't pet this puppy, I don't stay on the porch.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along. I think it's time to get ready to go for our next segment. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
What's this? It's a 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Oh my God, I gotta hit the right button. Here we go. Headlines on a Tuesday night, show 275. It's the 13th of September, 2016. A man arrested for reporting false creepy clown sightings.
update Clowngate,
Crazed woman cuts off man's dick.
Cockadoodle Brew,
Car dangles on side of garage after worst parking job ever.
It Takes Two, freeze frame,
Laid off worker gets perfect going away cake.
hating people that hate when you're 12.
And Amtrak responds to a tweet. Finally. These and other stories right now.
I'll be eating my biscuit.
I think we'll have two different ones.
See, okay. You think so?
I do.
All right. Well, we'll find out. Usually Marnie and I step on each other on these things, but
Well, once or twice.
well, we've talked about this a couple times in the previous weeks. We've talked a lot about North Carolina and a man who told police someone had dressed as a clown and knocked on his window at night, landed in jail last Friday after admitting that he had fabricated the story. The latest twist in a string of such reported sightings in recent weeks. Here's a picture of the man. Looks like the most intelligent guy. His name is David Wayne Armstrong, 24 years old, described to Winston-Salem police how he had chased the clown into nearby woods, but authorities said in a statement that he just simply lied. He was arrested on a charge of filing a false police report. Now, Winston-Salem police, oddly, Winston-Salem police, also said Friday that it had found no evidence to substantiate a report earlier this week of a clown attempting to lure children into a wooded area by offering them candy and treats. Reports of clown sightings in the state and neighboring South Carolina since late August have had residents on edge and prompted more police patrols. In most cases, investigators have found no one matching the varying descriptions of the clowns. Creepy clowns are a fixture of pop culture and entertainment in the United States, and best-selling U.S. horror author Stephen King weighed in on recent reports, noting the fear of clowns touches a nerve in both in both children and adults.
Very, very true.
I had a dream the other night. And it woke me up because I had a dream that I had opened the front door and standing outside my door was somebody in a clown outfit, and the problem that I had with it was that the eyes were just black holes. There was no eyes, and it freaked me the fuck out.
I don't like masks. I don't like
masks either.
Clowns gone by. Their eyes were black.
Oh, yeah, we gotta-
missing.
Don't bother, they're already here.
Well, to piggyback the clown.
Oh, that's a fun ride.
I don't
piggyback
I
the
don't
clown.
ever want to do that.
First.
Well, you don't know.
not
They taste funny.
Maybe like chicken. So the
The best part about
sightings,
clowns that they taste like chicken.
the clown sightings have increased, but people are wondering if it's a viral stunt, as far as the movie It.
Oh, that's
is
what I
going to
mentioned
be
last
coming
week.
out.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
And that it's coming out on September of next year, I believe.
That's what I mean. It just seems like it's too far away.
Too
Like
soon,
It's
right?
a year from now?
Yeah, they're saying September 8th.
Oh, I thought it was
believe.
already in the can and ready to go.
And Drew had sent me some things about the creepy clown.
Okay.
And that even Stephen King is scared of this kind of
Oh,
clown
wow.
sightings coming up.
I'm going to get coffee. You continue.
But he talked about, like, if I saw someone, like Pennywise pop up, I'd be a little nervous as well. That the guy, and these are happening, I believe, like all over. Like,
it's Ohio.
Not just
It's Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina so far.
Wisconsin, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
Further North Carolina.
Further North Carolina.
right. as it could be, and I did actually have that story with Clayton, so it was tripping on it a little bit. I didn't hear him mention the clown sightings as far as last week with the viral for the movie, so my apologies.
Oh no, I
on
just
that.
made a comment that I thought maybe that there was some sort of connection.
That's what
Because you got to figure, like, what could it be? Like, what's driving
What would
this?
get that
Like,
going?
what clown is currently in the culture that you would want to Blair Witch it a little bit?
But that's the other thing. There's another.
Ooh, Blair Witch. That's a good.
There's another Blair Witch ish.
Right?
movie coming
Yeah.
out.
A sequel, but it's not. The clown thing is too specific, and the luring the
is.
children, and the fact that there really is an abandoned house
Right.
that the kids are saying that they've been led to,
Right.
and that the house was there, and the weird, and at least the things that I read, like the police didn't realize there was an abandoned house, and I forget
Right.
about woods. Like I
Sure,
literally in 30
sure,
years out
yeah.
here have forgotten about the concept of like large wooded areas.
Oh, sure.
And
You
how
can't
like
see
that, no,
anything, right.
well, no, how big they could be. That
Yeah.
you could get lost in them. Like you could legitimately not find your way out.
Right.
And that there could be an old house that's been overgrown and just no one's been back there. And
Right. You've driven
just-
by it for 30
Nobody
years, but
notices,
never
right?
knew
no,
it
I
was
mean,
there.
no, it's in the woods. Like no one has driven
But
by
it's
you.
far enough back and off
Right.
the
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
off the
It's
cow path far enough.
overgrown. Nobody's seen it.
Yeah.
Nobody knew of it. It's back there.
Well, and the Blair Witch part, as far as bringing that up, recently a Kickstarter page from 2 years ago was discovered, which clearly some sort of viral marketing for the new Blair Witch movie. So the idea of subtle, creepy marketing for horror movies has precedent. It very well might be just getting clowns back into the mix of things, and that.
But
that
I
really
feel like everybody's
it's just
fear of clowns
concerning.
stays right.
It's well
It's-
cemented.
well, yeah. You don't need to have Pennywise kind of pop out of nowhere, because that's one of the creepiest fucking clowns.
And
Have you ever seen that or read
No,
it?
I've seen pictures. That's
Right,
enough.
that's
I don't.
enough.
I don't read horror stories.
right.
I don't see the movies.
Okay.
I'm good.
I didn't know if that was
There's
one
enough
that,
real
that might
life
have
going
been.
on that scares the shit out of me.
Sure.
I don't need to.
And the best part about scary movies is they're never as scary. And for some reason, because the book, when you read a book, I fall call it falling into the hole. Where I just like, you were talking about the theater, like you really are. Like I fall through the hole and am completely immersed in the book.
Sure.
And I get the bejesus scared out of me, and then you can't go anywhere because it's all inside your mind. So you can't run or hide from
that's
that.
worse.
Right.
That's
Like
worse.
you can't turn off the like you can turn off the TV and be like, well, that ended. But the book, that's with you.
Yeah, then you're just sitting on your coffee table with all the weapons you can.
Garlic,
You've got garlic,
crucifixes.
candlesticks.
You could even be on your
wooden
bike
stakes.
riding somewhere, but are they chasing me? Are they around me? Are they around the next tree? Where are they?
I had that one time where the guy came out from behind something and like reached for me
Oh,
on a night without lights, and I was like, and it was like, well, I'm not turning around to find out what I just saw.
not today, Satan.
Yeah,
Pedal faster.
it really did feel like Satan.
Oh.
You know, kids say, what is that tune? People whistle that to me all the time when
It was
I ride
almost
by.
home. This is scary.
You know, it's just an olden times biking tune.
Right. Anyway, very interesting. If I went out of my house, truthfully, and like your dream saw any kind of a clown, I'd shit myself. There'd be no two ways about it. It would be terribly uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Oh, a clown
Terribly
shows up
uncomfortable.
at my door?
I'm
That
done.
show's over.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a
We are
singing
moving.
I know,
telegram.
Everybody just
And
close
I'm
the door.
I'm not
we are
super
moving.
scared of clowns.
Don't forget
per
to
se,
burn
but
the house
that-
down before you leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would become the black family in the movie. I would move immediately as opposed to the white
Right.
people.
Oh,
Just
I
stay.
can stay.
No, move.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about
Absolutely.
snakes.
Yo,
Oh, I agree.
Burn it down.
I had.
The mother.
yeah.
It's another
fucker
reason
down.
I don't like. I'm not a Halloween fan because I do not like not knowing who I'm interacting with. And if there's a mask, I don't. If you've got makeup on and I can
Oh
see
no,
it, that's
I
fine.
don't. I don't like masks at all. The
No.
fake
No.
fake face. And
Don't.
they all look like they have black dead eyes like sharks.
Well, and the other thing I don't like was when people walk up to you and it's like, they're behind all that, and all you hear is, "You don't know who I am, do you?"
Right.
You don't know. I'm like, I don't fucking care who you are. Get away from me.
Because I'm gonna punch you.
Right. It just drives me crazy.
I'm dressed up as a baseball player. Here's my bat.
Different thing.
No, that's what that's my
Oh,
reaction.
that's my reaction. Okay.
So in the movie, if you guys know about, for understanding about what's going to be coming out, the new It adaptation will be split into two movies, just as the miniseries was split into two parts, with the first centering on a group of children known as the Losers Club, and they must fight off this evil spirit known as It. The second movie will bring these characters back together as adults as they must stop It once and for all. Bill Skarsgård is going to be Pennywise.
Yeah, and he looks. It's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
I did see a
It
picture.
was Tim Curry.
Originally,
was
right.
Pennywise, right?
Tim's a little old and not in the best of shape right now to be
that would-
Pennywising.
But yeah, he wouldn't be a scary Pennywise right now.
that
With the
makeup on
cast that
anybody.
also includes, these are names that I'm not super familiar with. Jaden Lieberher, Finn Wolfhard, Jack Dylan Grazer, Wyatt Olaf.
I
Those
feel
are
like
probably
you're
all
just
the kids.
making sounds.
No, I'm sure.
no, I think those are the children.
Chosen Jacobs is a fucking name
But I think you're naming off the kids
in the thing.
in it.
Like
I
these are
think you're naming
characters.
off
The cast.
the children's cast, so we wouldn't have heard
I
of them.
thought that was the. Oh, got it.
And the adults are probably played by someone you've heard of. Kind of like if we named off the
Drew.
cast of Stranger Things,
Right,
you'd be
right,
like,
right,
who the fuck are those people?
Got
Drew
it.
wants to know
Okay.
if Tim Curry's in the death dip.
No, well,
I think it's a fair. it's a
Since-
fair question.
since Dr. Drew is no longer, going to be around. But anyway, so
Who's going to kill off all the
kids?
addicts
Okay.
now that Dr. Drew's off the air?
Oh, he's going to work on his own independent network now.
Oh, good, good.
I'm assuming.
Oh, is
I
it
don't
going to
know.
be
We
on?
might have
Is
had
it
a-
going to be on Russian television?
Him and Nancy Grace are going to probably pair up.
Just scream at each other and kill addicts.
He's going to kill him, and she's going to analyze it.
With a success rate like that, Jesus, how'd you lose your TV
and
show?
then they'll go on Larry King.
Yes.
On Russian TV.
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
Anyway, so the end.
Is the caller there? Poughkeepsie, you're on.
And I'm all for dumping on the Trump, but when did Larry King become a Russian
Russian
operative?
operative.
I don't know.
agree.
Like, I mean, it'd be like, Larry, is this
Hell?
Russian TV?
I know.
That struck me.
I thought that was a little bit odd.
Yeah, I'm like, now we're really getting a little crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't need to go there to make Trump fucking nuts.
Speaking an odd segue, this is completely off. I
love segues.
I don't remember this until I saw it on Facebook, and then I Googled it, and I went online, and I looked at it, and I found it. 9/11 Memorial, the Teardrop Memorial in New Jersey, right off the coast, across the river from Manhattan. That was a present from Russia. And I vaguely remember hearing about it many years ago, but it's there. If you Google the 9/11 Teardrop Memorial, it's on the New Jersey side. It looks almost like
I bet it has cameras.
It looks like it's got two towers, and in the middle, it's etched out, and there's a big, huge teardrop
really
in the middle. It's never mentioned.
Oh,
And
I
it
feel
was-
like I do remember that.
it was a gift from Russia, and all of the names of the victims are in the etched in the base of it. And I just thought it was very interesting that it's never mentioned in anything you ever hear. It's only about the reflecting pools, which I get the significance of them. But it's a beautiful monument across the.
I wonder
I
if
know that.
that must be like near Newark Airport. You would imagine, right?
Well, if you look, I looked it up, and
Because I feel like that's your view from the Newark Airport, but I don't know.
it can't be far because
If
it's right
only there
across
was
the
a way.
it's right across the bay from it. Is it called a bay or a river? What is that? What do you call
It
it?
depends on what there is a
Depends on the part of it
there
you're
is
at.
a river. There is.
Well, I'll Google map it for you, and we'll look for it. Because if you look at the big picture, it's like right across from where
And I
the
always get
towers
them
were.
confused. What's across from where? Because the Hudson's on one side, the East River's on the other side.
Okay, so
But
the Teardrop
I get the
Memorial
sides
is at
mixed
the
up all the time.
very end.
The very tip of what?
Of a
I just sent you the
pier.
pictures. You can put it up so we don't have to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Hang on. Stand by.
So we can all look at it.
I love that the clowns are going to be chained in my garage, and the termites are just going to eat the clowns.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, that's a
So,
very.
I like it. I mean,
You're
okay,
Two
killing-
with
problems,
that.
one elegant solution.
And Dr. Drew's killing himself off at Wingstop with the Korean barbecue flavor. Apparently, I love it, Harrison. That's awesome.
Wingstop. God bless Wingstop. They have a lemon garlic wing,
Yeah.
boneless.
Good. Oh, I like the boneless. Yeah,
Delicious
yeah.
would be delicious
Okay.
with this.
Okay, so if you're looking,
Here's an image
if
of the
you're-
monument, by the way. That's what the monument looks like. And
Yeah. So Newark is almost directly behind you.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like you might see this because you can see that view behind it from the Newark, like from the Newark airport. You can see the skyline of Manhattan.
Okay.
When you land in Newark, you see that. So I'm wondering if this is right outside the Newark airport.
Not right outside. It's across. It's across the bay. And
Can you
this is.
Can you give me that picture? Can you Can you somehow screenshot that and
yes,
shoot
I
me
can.
that, please?
But I get all confused because Jersey's further east than Manhattan, so I get all turned around. So I guess that's the East River.
Well,
I
and
know-
considering
hang on,
the
hang
fact that Meow is updating our map to include further North Carolina,
Oh.
and now Meow, we need you to help out with
Hang on, let me remember how to do a screenshot of this damn thing.
with the bay/river/water feature.
The water feature. We're not adding water features to our show.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So like I said, I get confused as
right.
fuck down there.
guess
Like
I
I
can.
know what's the west side, but then I don't know what body of water that is because I feel like
Oh,
it
I'm
should
sorry.
be the
I got it.
Hudson.
I got it.
I wouldn't
Cat,
be
I'm
able
sorry.
Oh, you have it? Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't have a clue.
I'm like,
Yeah, because that's directly between Newark and Sunset Park. So you've got Newark Bay, then you've got the body of land where the Teardrop Memorial is, and then you have to cross is that the river? No, then you have to cross the Hudson Bay to get
Oh,
to...
so it is the Hudson, and I never know because then the Hudson's on one side, the East River, and they all open up into something, and it's
right.
a whole thing.
So
and-
much things in the waters and the...
All right,
blah.
Clayton, what's your next story? Now that geography's over. Further west,
We
New
should've-
Jersey.
We should have put it up on
Ah,
the
Further
well.
west, New
on the
Jersey.
monitor.
That would have taken longer.
Yeah, I'm
Unfortunately.
with you. I'm an ant. I'm completely with you.
Yeah.
I
really
thought,
good at
little
maps.
Dirty thought.
There's a lot
Totally
going on.
with
with
you.
it.
Well, and that's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, now
Yeah.
I remember that.
It's the
Yeah.
one testicle monument. Is that what you were thinking?
It just looks like a
Kind
swinging
of.
ball sack.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's exactly all it looks like.
Wow.
I was like, well, that's a nice monument, Russia. Way to go, Russia.
Bent over and bow-legged, one nut.
Well, there's that.
Is
That's a touching
is
monument.
Testicular Cancer Awareness Month coming up?
Very soon.
Be sure to check your local
We can
listings.
only hope.
All cancers matter. It's
One ball.
important to say
All.
that.
That's it. That's it. All.
Just
All
remember,
of them.
you can't have breast cancer awareness because all cancers
All
matter.
cancers matter.
That's true. It's very, very, very valid point. All right, we're coming back in just a couple of minutes with the drinking word. More
Whether
headlines.
you like it or not.
All these things coming up. Q Talk America. Stay right where you are. We're eating biscuits.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, hi, diddly ho, neighbor. It's The Show. It's a Tuesday night. We are sitting in Studio C, and you are sitting wherever the hell you want to because you can. It's either America or it's Kenya or you're on a ship at sea. Wherever you wish to be, you can be because it's your life. Live it, people. I don't know where the hell I was going.
I thought we were going into another song. I was ready.
Look, it's coffee. It's not miracles. Okay, calm down. I'm
There's
not.
always that moment when you know that he's had enough coffee. And there it is.
We're not here yet.
I like
Well,
it.
I'm not singing like Ethel Merman yet. I mean,
He tried. Your heart wasn't in it.
You will in a minute.
my heart wasn't in it, I see.
I can believe you will.
Oh, that's funny. Well, as we do at the beginning of the second hour of every week's show, we try to remember to do something, and here it is. It's Al Perkins and our drinking word, and it goes a little something like this.
I just came up with that one.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck. Our drinking word is Cantinfloss, or Cantinfloss.
Cantinfloss.
What?
Talks too much without saying anything.
Oh.
Kind of like when you make up places like further west New
Jersey.
Jersey. I like, you know what? We should have gone with even newer Jersey.
The newest. The newest
That's
Jersey.
the newest Jersey.
Newer New Jersey. I like that.
Even newer Jersey.
Cantinfloss.
As Meowkill is working on his cartography skills.
That's my new everything right now.
Oh, and for those of you that don't know, from Arrested Development, that's what Buster went to school for, was for cartography. But he always fucked it up, so he never knew where anything was.
It's fantastic.
Just another one of those jokes that kept giving for 3 seasons.
Well, say what's our word? Let me write it down.
Cantinfloss.
Can we spell it?
It's
The traditional spelling.
Cantintin.
Cantinfloss.
FLAS. Or Cantinfleer, which it means
The person
you
who
know,
talked. Oh, to talk too much.
to
though.
talk too much, right?
The act of cantin flossing.
One's
Exactly.
a verb and one is a
Cantinflosser.
noun.
Farfignugan. I mean,
Farfignugan.
it almost sounds.
I think one is the verb and one is conjugated. Oh, it's you.
We're having
Apparently.
there's electrical issues.
I like it. Something.
Fair enough. We're not charging.
Wait,
I
you-
think I just got Cantinflawed.
Can you plug it into that and charge it from that?
Hi, Nero.
No, I thought you could.
I mean, I could, but why?
Sure. It's me, right? Okay.
is,
Well,
yeah.
this story, and I don't know how I've not heard this in any other local news. I found this online. A woman in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is just a mere 8 or 9 miles east of where we're sitting right
I live
now.
there.
Oh, you do live there
I do
in
live there.
North Scottsdale. This woman may be a neighbor, and when I show you a picture in a minute, you're gonna know whether she is or not.
Good Lord.
A woman in Scottsdale, Arizona, has been arrested after she cut off her partner's penis in a fit of fury.
Oh no, that was further South Scottsdale.
Oh, you've heard of this?
That was nearly Tempe.
Okay.
Could you go ahead and add that?
Shania
Mel?
Jones,
was in
who
the
is
paper.
34, told detectives that she was sick of the man who has been named locally as Bruce Fox, refusing to make eye contact with her during sex. She's just mad as hell. Not going to take it anymore. Fox is currently in intensive care at Scottsdale Liberty Hospital, where he is expected to make on a somewhat full recovery,
Yeah,
I'm
right?
guessing. The attack took place in Fox's home last Thursday. According to the man, the pair were having sex when all of a sudden Jones got up, grabbed a kitchen knife, which I don't know why you'd keep it that close unless you were just on the pull-out couch in the living room, and
Pull out.
sliced
Maybe
off
it was
the,
a small apartment.
Pull out.
sliced off the tip of his junk.
Just the tip.
Jones fled the scene as the man lay in bed bleeding profusely. Emergency services were called to the scene, and luckily for Fox, they were. The woman was arrested at her home on September 1st after a male alleged that she had severed part of his junk during their sexual intercourse. After questioning, the woman admitted to the crime, claiming that she lost her temper after the man refused to make eye contact with her. She has been charged with assault with a deadly weapon and a bail.
Which eye did she want him to look at her with?
Apparently,
No, wait. There's a punch coming to this.
All right.
he had it covered.
Domestic violence.
He may have. She's been a bail of $15,000 has been set. She will appear in court on Thursday, which is a couple days from now, where she is expected to plead guilty. She faces up to 8 years in prison for this act. Now remember,
I was going to say 1 per inch.
Now
but that
remember the
seems too
charge.
easy.
He ran into my knife.
Now remember
10 times.
the whole reason she lost her mind was because he would not make eye contact with her during sex.
Look at me, damn it!
Here's her mugshot.
I was waiting for that. I'm so glad that you had that.
fantastic.
It's fucking fantastic.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Oh.
I told you to look me in the eye. Can't do
That-
plus.
It reminds me of the Devo video where the woman's trying
Which
to
way did he
shoot
go?
and she's just
Which way
waving the
did he
gun
go?
back and forth.
I don't know which way did he go.
And we all I have a dear friend, and after like knowing her for like a month or two, I said to another friend, I'm like, it's the weirdest thing. Like I don't think she really likes me because like she never looks at me when she's talking to me. My friend's like, oh my god, her one eye is a little crossed, and I'm like, oh fuck. Thank God
that'll do it.
Thank God I never brought that up.
I have to tell you, I wouldn't have thought a thing of that story until I saw the picture, and then I was like, for real?
You're just the person that's like, hey, over here.
Right.
You will look at me when I have sex with you.
Right. But when I saw
Captain
that's-
Class.
I can't. I don't know how any judge or anybody would be able to keep a straight
that
face
it?
during
Is that
that.
Follow my finger.
It's awful. Like it's awful.
Well, we all know that I have a little trouble getting places on time.
No.
No.
Now,
By the way, how did you get her early tonight?
She wasn't. We were late.
She wasn't. We started the
No,
show
that's
10
not
minutes
true.
She
late.
walked
I
in at
was-
7.
Thank
She
you.
walked in. We were late. Yes.
6:59.
She walked in. Actually, that's what.
Seconds to spare.
was
Actually, it was
6:58.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
this one.
I know.
All right, it's crazy.
I know.
A new leaf, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's not push it. So, so I have a little trouble getting places on time, and much of that, if it's in the morning that I'm to be somewhere, it's not gonna happen, right? But there is, you know, that commercial for Folgers, the best part of waking up.
Oh, Folgers in your cup.
Well, I think that we should
I knew
change
there was
that
another
tune.
song.
To the best part of waking up is an alarm clock in your cunt. Right? Like,
Oh.
so if we did
Oh,
that,
not this.
we could change it.
I did see the
I feel like Mike Pence is behind
we
this.
could, no. Oh, terribly
Alarm clock.
not.
alarms for
No.
pets.
No, I would think not.
Well-
This seems way too
I have-
hard for Pence.
Cock-a-doodle brew is what I'm saying. So, you know,
Is there a picture?
wakey. There is.
Wakey,
yeah.
wakey.
There,
wakey. Oh,
there is.
that's. All right.
Let me go ahead and get that for you.
Well, just give me a name. I'll Google it myself.
No, because it'll just go to the website thing. So I have it right here
Of course you
for
do.
your delight. Well,
My God.
anyway, I'll get it for you in a second.
Okay, go ahead.
It's at. So if you're anything, it says if you're anything like me, and let's face it, you probably are, then you have a hard time getting up in the morning. Your alarm clock goes off, and you hit the snooze button so hard that it'll make you cry. That's right.
Oh, I found it.
Your hatred for getting up is so great, you've somehow managed to make an inanimate object cry. You know what would make an alarm clock better? If instead you wake up with a instead of waking up with a vile alarm, if you woke up with a red hot orgasm. Good day, sunshine, indeed.
Oh,
I say good deed.
you're selling this more than you were at first.
Actually, did your alarm just go off? Because you're very perky.
I'm
about
waking
that.
up. That's what my plan was
Oh,
the
I
whole
see.
time.
Are you a beta tester for this?
You don't know.
project?
You don't know. Content Plus.
You
So
don't
why you
know.
were so mellow when you came in?
That's what it was. I just set the
Her
alarm.
beta hadn't been tested yet.
Set the
Hey,
alarm.
hey.
Waking up on time.
Isn't
is
this it?
That is it.
That is it right there.
Well, it looks like a spatula.
Al, you could get one.
But yeah, you could. There you could. It's called a little rooster.
Set your timer.
And while it may look like this high-tech kind of spatula, it's actually a brilliant sex toy. So hold on to your labia. I'm just saying.
I mean,
little cunt and floss never hurt anyone.
Yeah. That is the cunt and flosser. I think that's how they say it in Germany.
My God.
You actually wear it inside your underwear.
That's how.
And
And when it goes off, you look like this.
only maybe your mouth isn't blue. We don't know. We
Hey.
don't know. You don't know.
No,
Don't
it could be
judge.
Maybe
flavored.
not the right time to go to a picture of a child.
I was just thinking the facial expression, not the age of the face.
Now that is fantastic. So anyway, yeah. So you have this little rooster sex toy.
Or it's, let me go back to this one.
Oh my God! Will you stop it? Killing me.
That's my
It'll
snooze
cross
alarm.
your eyes. How good's that vibrator? It'll cross your eyes.
or maybe it'll uncross him extremely.
Whoa! Oh, that's good. That's good.
I feel like that'll burn your clit. It will. Through ski pants? Yes.
Point taken.
It's one of my favorite episodes of Sex in the City. When
That's nice.
when Clarice, what's her name? What's the Samantha is in sharper image with the neck massagers, and they're all like looking at them as vibrators, and she's like, "Oh, that one will burn your clit off." And she's like, "Through ski pants?" Yes.
No, it's funny. Well, I got to tell you, I mean,
to
it
go
might
back
be
and
worth
watch
it.
that
It's
from
under
the top.
$100, so you know there. But if you're
It's
a
5
little,
handies.
you don't know. You don't know.
That's my math.
And you know,
20 bucks
20
is 20
bucks
bucks.
is 20 bucks. But if you are not sexually motivated,
Who is it?
then you don't know. The coffee brewing alarm will actually make you want to get up as well. And I think this is actually a delightful idea. Far more expensive than the
orgasm?
little orgasm clock.
It's a new
But
from Mr. Coffee.
there's a
Wait,
there's
did we
a-
go to a separate device, or
We
is this
did.
a multifunctional
separate-
device?
No, because
Oh, okay.
if it were multifunctional, I'd already bought
Because, you know, if
that
I've
shit
had too
off
much whiskey
Amazon.
or something, I can't quite get there, then let's go to coffee. The third snooze is the coffee
Right.
pot.
It could be.
Well, I thought maybe the device was Wi-Fi, and all of a sudden, if it's going off and it's setting off, it's perking up Mr. Coffee
Yeah.
in there.
If you don't hit the arrive button,
There's
then
a,
it goes
there's
to
a
the coffee
lot
pot.
of there's a lot of perking up.
I feel
that
like
goes with
that's
all
way
this,
too
I think.
complicated to be in my pants. Like, I'm over it. I'm already done.
The
I'm so
percolators thing. Oh God!
I'm supposed to
Ew.
make coffee.
That's
in
the
here
worst
too.
coffee
I don't
I've ever
understand.
heard of.
Too complicated to
I
be
don't
in my
want
pants.
that. Yeah.
It's true.
Well,
I'm wearing underwear that
I'm
looks
sure
like a
that's-
diaper due to the size of the appliance I'm smuggling around in my cooter.
Why she has a wide stance? It's an alarm clock.
She's got to get up tomorrow.
Of course it is.
And I'm a restless sleeper. I'm concerned I'm going to hurt myself.
Don't do kegels.
No. Ouch.
No. Back
That's how you
away.
snooze.
Yeah. She got accustomed to the size and she dropped it behind her.
She has a firm buttock. British designer Josh Renault has designed this alarm clock. It'll brew you a fresh cup of coffee by the time you wake up. I thought delightful idea. If you've used the spatula-looking sex toy all week and you just wanted a lazy Saturday morning, let's
I
say,
feel like I saw that on Back to the Future already.
Maybe
though.
wake up without screaming.
the neighbors will be happier. And in September 2017, along with the remake of It, you can go ahead and get this for $499.
a coffee pot with a timer on it for $400.
That's
My
what I'm
coffee
saying.
pot already has a timer on
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
Seriously.
Just bring your what, like the Black and Decker in.
His
Put
Mr.
it on
Coffee,
the-
I have my Mr. Coffee pot, and seriously, it does take
Yeah.
a lot of thinking to get that thing to work. But when it does, it works beautifully.
Well,
I'm embarrassed to tell you how long it takes me to set that clock.
It's like
though.
programming a VCR, isn't
Oh,
it?
it is. All of a sudden, I'm Grandma Moses. Like, Jesus, lady, get your shit together.
We thought this was so simple in 88.
That thing has never had the correct time playing on it either. It blinks noon.
I simply just want to let everyone know their options for.
How
I'm
kind you
torn
are.
though.
Waking in
Orgasms
the
or
morning.
coffee? With the coffee I had today, I'm going to have to go with coffee.
There you have it. You see, now you have a choice.
Maybe you could
all
blend
about the
the
choices.
two. Get all hopped up on one and then
Hop
hopped
on the
up
other.
There you go.
It's you know what? It's
I
a
like
it's a very Judy Garland kind of a face.
Oh, it is.
It's like mixing your uppers and downers just right. Like it's very.
you
And
gotta,
she
you
did
gotta.
not mix them just
One
right.
going
Right.
up and
We have,
one going down. We
I know.
seem to land on
That's the
common
thing that
ground.
we learned. The most important lesson from Judy:
Absolutely.
balance your uppers and downers.
I'm just telling
That's
you.
what we've learned from Judy.
Hi, John Jay.
Thanks, Judy.
Yeah.
Well, one's bed savoring, and the other one not as much.
Bed
But-
savoring.
Good
Savoring.
morning.
I feel like I just made gravy in my bed.
You have those plastic sheets.
Yeah.
Not in the fun way.
Yeah, exactly. We're making gravy, people.
Oh,
We used to make whiteout.
Now we've progressed to gravy. Was there an
We've gone
infection
from
of some sort?
We went
What-
from salty to savory.
Perhaps you should get that checked.
It's a whole new meaning to you can ring my bell.
Can you ring my doctor? I just made gravy in my pants.
I'm gonna need a change of clothes.
Just the one.
Oh, content floss.
If this happens again, please contact my attorney.
Does it come with like an emergency code or like a I don't know what wrist bracelet thing?
A safety word.
Something I'm allergic to. I
Help!
don't
My
know.
alarm clock
Cream
is fucking
cheese.
me, and I can't get up. Like what?
The alarm. Good morning. Good morning.
I would like to know the testing for Underwriters Laboratories that had to certify that this thing was okay for human use. Like, was there? I'd like to see the test.
There's
testing.
some happy
There's some
cats.
happy rats running around right now. That's a talking pussy if I ever heard of it.
Oh, if it's in a cat, it'd be like a handle. I can see.
Stop making that gesture with your hand. Stop. Stop.
Next caller,
Lift
caller,
the
are you
cloud.
there?
Lift the cloud. Get your hand out of the cat.
Caller,
Chattanooga, are you there? Is the caller there?
Revolting.
we've lost control of the classroom.
Oh my
All right.
God. Oh.
God damn, that's real funny.
Well, a man who failed to stop when pulling into a rooftop spot of a 9-story parking garage in Austin, Texas, rammed through protection wiring and avoided a deadly fall when one of the wires wrapped around the axle of his truck, leaving his car dangling on the building's side last Friday. We'll cut to a picture of this incident. There he is, hanging up there about, 4 stories up? If you can't quite make that out on the whatever image, we're going to zoom in a little bit there. There it is. He just...
Now you know the caption. If you pull out, is gonna say.
Is that the caption?
Well, that's a compliment. Thank you.
Assuming time.
Eagles are working out, honey.
He just had a BMW.
I do them daily. Elevator going up. But you know that those guys on the ground are like, this asshole.
Yeah.
Like, that is exactly what the bald guy on the left is saying. This
I like the guy on the
asshole.
stairwell taking the pictures.
Yeah.
because that's the appropriate.
That's
thing to do.
helpful.
That's- yep.
Well, before you get all judgy and think that
Too late.
we're gonna bash some poor woman
Have you-
driver,
have you met
the
him?
24-year-old
She
man
was Asian.
who was not identified by police was pulled back to safety into the garage. He was unable to stop the vehicle that went off the top of the building and flipped over, like I said, caught by the wire. The driver was miraculously able to climb out of the sunroof and make his way safely back onto the garage floor, the Austin Fire Department wrote. The man was not injured.
I don't think he's going to forget where he parked his car, though.
No,
I think he'll remember.
he actually was a witness said, "I have a strong feeling the driver is going to have a great appreciation of what it means to be alive from this point forward," said James Davis, a 29-year-old cell phone software developer who was about one of 100 people standing watching the car dangling and taking pictures.
Because it's America. What
It's
else are we gonna do?
It's literally the least you can do. Oh my God, they're in crisis. What should I do? Well, film a video.
Take a picture.
Well, and these
get your
guys
phone
on
out,
the
get
these
your
guys
phone
on the left, they're taking pictures too. They got to get all this.
And that looks like a that looks like a very old man in the greener hat.
Could be.
Well, and why not? Well,
That's probably his whole day. Well, fuck,
He's
I can
very
go home
excited.
now.
Big
very
day.
excited. Got a big
I was
day.
gonna go to the bar, but this is too much excitement.
Woke up with an orgasm,
won't take
walked
it.
out to this, back home.
I'm not even going to bingo tonight.
Dear diary. Flat and flask.
see.
I keep trying to say the
big
drinking
day.
word, and all I come up with cunt flaps. That's all I come up with.
Canton floss.
Canton flaggots.
However you get
Canton flaggots. Whatever you need to say. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Cat and flag it.
Fly,
So-
flackalugan.
Frickin'.
So having to do a little political banter, because I know that we're pretty much over it, because how could you not be? Because it's become a lot. But there is so much shit that God bless them, some, at least half of the nutbags on the right are coming up with.
The
The
deplorables.
deplorables.
The deplorables.
Right.
I want to use their
Hashtag
proper
the deplorables.
their proper name.
Right. Exactly. I appreciate not being a deplorable. But the fact that
After
now
your Asian
it
comment,
takes
thank
to-
you to-
Hey, we lost Asia a long time ago.
That's true.
That's true.
I
I've got
mean,
them way back here. in
I'm
the
pretty
notes,
sure
like,
that you're the first one that fucking ever said it.
No,
about
it's
Asia.
not in my wheelhouse.
couldn't be.
Oh, bullshit.
They quit sending us rugs a long time ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
This is why none of us will ever be president.
Yeah.
No. Oh God.
Oh, that's
I gave
that's
that
the
up.
reason.
I gave that up in
That's the only
80s.
reason.
It wasn't even the 90s. It was in the 80s that I gave that dream up. But now we're seeing double. Apparently now we're seeing double. If you're one of the deplorable.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Because Hillary
She
was
is.
replaced by a body double. I don't know if
Jesus
y'all
Christ.
heard about that.
Oh no! I
Oh,
did
yeah.
not.
Oh yeah. It was
Why
a
didn't I think of
body
that?
double.
Duck and cover.
It was yesterday. Nope, I lied to you. Sunday. Sunday when she had her fall, her wobble,
Stumble.
Misstep.
The wobble.
her misstep.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby,
Wobble.
wobble,
Yes.
baby, wobble.
So on Sunday, it was announced that she had the pneumonia
You're welcome.
due to the cough. After she left a 9/11 tribute a little bit early.
I'm listening.
Oh, now you're listening
yeah,
to
right?
it. Sorry.
Well, I try to be polite.
So the candidate's turnaround sparked perhaps the most insane conspiracy theory of the election yet. That the person outside of the apartment, when she walked out of Chelsea's apartment, body double. Body
That's
double.
smart.
Rudy Giuliani's on
Hashtag
this.
Hillary's body
Been
double.
doing it for years. Oh,
For real.
You can Google it. See what you find on video.
Yeah, you can. I
that's
have
what
like
Rudy
pictures
Giuliani
up
would say.
here. Trump fans, and I guess whoever else
Both
loves
of them.
conspiracies.
Well, he's got
the
four. His kids.
deplorables, right?
And
His
at
kids.
least half of those are deplorables, the two of them. I guess whoever else loves conspiracies began to tweet about the theory in earnest using the hashtag Hillary's body double. So, for real, some of the shit that they're coming up with. One common theme was that Clinton appeared thinner when she greeted reporters at the event.
Oh, I thank you.
And people were like, does Chelsea have a lipo machine in her apartment?
I'm one
because
stomach
of
flow away
that.
from my ideal.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. And so is she.
I'm 3 stomach
I'm
foods.
about 4, I think.
Another was that there weren't any Secret Service agents accompanying Clinton when she left her daughter's apartment.
I did think that was
I
a
thought
little
it was
odd.
weird, but I didn't think that it was a
Let the
body
decoy
double.
get
No,
killed.
Right.
they were just to the right.
They were off to the side, but
But
they
in the
weren't flogging.
in the picture that you see, it does look like she's standing alone on a sidewalk.
Yeah, but they're just somebody
That's
just
called
zoomed.
cropping.
Yeah,
right,
they zoomed a
because
little.
it says even though other photos show that she was flanked by the agents, they're not worried about that.
Did Kate McKinnon just drop by to check on her and
Maybe.
leave, and
She
they
may
got
have.
confused?
Oh, that's true. Or
Well,
Amy Poehler.
or
Amy Poehler.
this
Oh.
Teresa Barnwell apparently is a Clinton impersonator.
Shut the
Teresa
front door.
Lily Barnwell.
I need to be her friend on Facebook. I'm going
saying,
right now.
I think you should.
I'm
I
going
think you
to.
should. She works as
Barnwell,
an
the traditional spelling?
Barnwell, traditional spelling. Yes.
Good barn to you.
Cunt floss.
Barnwell, my friend. Barnwell.
Barnwell.
So anyway, apparently the body double has been found, and
Dismembered.
on her Facebook she says
Body
that
double, body double, body double.
They,
body-
things got a little weird from there because then people went to the fact that Hillary's index finger is longer than a ring finger.
Oh my God!
This is obviously not her. I mean, what the fuck are people doing? They're so goddamn dumb. People got really in depth then with their analysis. Clinton emerged 4 hours later after collapsing. No Secret Service around her. I submit there's something truly fishy here. Picture.
She got fluids.
Right. The
Right.
evidence.
That's a good point.
Evidence.
She drank some fucking Gatorade.
Had a lot of people convinced. Different nose, ears, fingers, and no security around. That was not Hillary, guys. Yeah. Vera Van Horn is a dumb cunt. And she's the one who says that on Twitter. Other people also hopped up. Also
has a
hopped on the
website.
hashtag, yes, to troll those who may actually believe the theory. Woke up with heartburn, saw that Hillary's body double is trending. Oh, not heartburn, just my body literally rejecting the stupid Mylanta. It says.
Mylanta.
Atlanta.
So, I mean, just so many stupid fucking
And
people.
I
I have now liked her page.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
I didn't wake up early. I was at work, and I decided to turn on CNN at about 6 o'clock in the morning because I thought I would watch some of the
for 9/11 stuff.
I can't think what the word I'm thinking of is the tribute, the celebration,
sure.
whatever
Oh,
you call
sure,
it,
sure.
the memorial service that they were having. So I turned it on and I told my patient, raise your hand if you don't want to watch CNN, and everything went well that way.
Yeah.
So I was watching, and there's this one picture that they showed live, and from one end you started with Hillary, and I can't remember who was next to her. Maybe the Senator Schumer might have been down there with
Okay.
her, and it came all the way down. They were in one line, and it ended with Trump standing very close to Mayor de Blasio, Giuliani,
Giuliani, yeah.
and
Nutbag.
Pataki was there, and they were all standing in a line, and they panned to Hillary.
I thought Bloomberg should go over and say something to him.
And I was like, oh. I'm like, you, honey.
Yeah.
Like, and all I could think was, okay, I just felt like, this was before anything had happened, but I was like, did she just say, I gotta go? Like,
Yeah.
somebody probably told her, you know what? Maybe stay in bed.
Sure.
You know how when you're sick and you convince yourself you're gonna be a
Yeah.
I
superhuman?
have to
Yep.
be there.
I gotta
They're
be there.
counting on me.
Absolutely.
Because the hair wasn't done, there wasn't a stitch of makeup on. She looked exhausted.
She did.
And she did look kind of like gaunt.
Yeah.
I thought.
I agree.
And then they showed her
eyes
like
looked-
milling
yeah.
around and like talking to people, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, I'm glad she's not speaking today because she really kind of looks kind of rough.
Sure.
And then I got home a couple hours later, and I heard the thing about her with the heat and exhaust. And I have to say this from the pneumonia point of view.
I've had it.
But after a certain age, all people,
Yes.
women go a little bit heavier on it, but men do it too. Oh, if I drink the water, then I have to pee all the time. And you hear it. It's like a chorus that you hear from people after a certain age where you're like, you have to drink some water. You're going to be outside. I know,
Right.
then I'll have to pee. I don't want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
You're going on a road trip.
right.
I don't want to pee in a public restroom.
Sure.
So you could just see a busy person in that crowd,
And even if you don't want to pee the whole time, it's a matter that you get busy doing something and you just truly
But
forget.
there's that constant
or-
refrain because
Yeah.
in one of the interviews she says, I didn't take my doctor's advice, and I
Yeah.
can swear to you on a Bible the doctor probably said rest
Yeah.
and get lots of fluids
Sure.
because you're gonna need them. And seriously, old people do it all the time. I see it at work all the time.
Yep.
Dehydration. Why? I don't want to drink the water. They don't have to pee all the time.
Well, and
And you hear it from people
And
before at
it is.
nighttime.
You do, sure you
Oh
do.
God, if I
Yeah.
have if I have a glass of water, then we have to wake up and pee in the middle of the night.
Sure.
Well, and the other thing that
And you're like, it's a working kidney.
the blogosphere is just posting ad nauseum is just the mom thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she got up and went to work because she's probably her whole life, no matter how she felt,
Sure.
got up and went and did what she had to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, clearly I don't have that gene because I get the sniffles and all of a sudden I'm laying on the couch going, babe,
Yeah.
I'm dying.
I'm in the emergency
I
room.
have some no.
Yeah.
And
well,
I'm the worst. I'll go and go and go until finally, like, I
Right.
collapse with some and like, what the fuck were you thinking? I'm like, I just thought I don't want to use a sick day for this.
Sure.
That's I'll drink
Yeah.
all the water and I
Yeah.
pee constantly, but I'll be the one that's like, no, I don't want to use a PTO day for illness.
Well, and
I
it
want to save that for
definitely
vacation.
pneumonia
that's
will
her name.
knock you on your ass because I was out. I mean, September of 2010, I was in Minnesota and I came
Picture
back
it.
and
Minnesota.
the whole month of October. I mean, when Clayton and I drove back from Minnesota, I walked through the door and I was on the couch and I was done for like a month. So I can't fathom. That was 6 years. I was 40 years old, and
Just a
her at
baby.
68.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
But it is time, and this one's husband did have an interesting thing on the show yesterday about it. Now you have to disclose stuff. Like
Yes,
now,
I agree. This one's husband. I
yeah,
love
you
that.
you held it back
Yeah.
for 2 days, maybe for privacy. Maybe you thought you could fake it. You couldn't.
You couldn't.
You kind of failed at the faking it. So now you have to disclose.
Right.
What did they say? What's your status? But then for Trump to put out that goddamn letter from the
know it.
gastroenterologist,
Yeah.
whatever he is, with typos and everything.
Healthiest person
ever. And then they show
Ever to
like
be
Obama
president.
with
And
his
the
shirt
best
off in the
guts.
ocean. And he's this big,
But
fat
think-
70-year-old.
I know, he was awful. And his wife,
Gigantor.
his like much younger wife, had to come
Gigantor.
home when CNN was interviewing him, and he's like, she's not going to be happy. And she came in, balls to the wall, much like that statue that Russia gave us, and she like grabbed his arm and you can't talk to him, and was like screaming at the CNN guy, and just took him off. Like he just looked like an infirmed old man, like the way that she just handled him. And I thought, yeah, that's a good doctor you got there, Trumpy.
Yeah.
But people they're just going, there's a whole lot of stupid.
There is a lot of stupid.
And we
stupid.
talked about this a couple years ago, that now for the generation, the burners, all those people, it has been now a full generation that since we've had an old president.
Sure, it's true.
Clinton was very young. Bush was
was,
very
yeah.
young. Obama, they were all in their 40s.
Yep.
I think they're in the list of like the 5 or 6 youngest presidents ever.
Well, and
So I mean, it's alarming that now it's gone to an old person job. So that question came back of like, you don't remember
Are you
when all the
okay?
presidents were old men and women,
of
not
course,
women,
the people
but
that are voting right now don't remember that this came up. I mean, the
That they were
McCain stuff,
usually
it came up about McCain, but
Yeah.
he wasn't a front runner, right?
well, he was for a minute in 2000.
Right.
Well,
for
he
like a
was not
minute.
only a front runner,
Yeah.
but he had the nomination in
He
2008.
did. No,
so.
I know, but not. He wasn't expected.
Well, no one. Yeah, it's true.
Right.
No one with an R behind their name was going to win in 2008.
Right. So when you look at the bathroom issue, think about what happened with Hillary when she was up there with the debates, right?
Oh, and
was
she
up
had a
there
bathroom
and
break.
She had to go to the bathroom, and that was fucking all over the news for how long? And come
She
on,
probably went to laugh for a while.
Thanks, Stadium Pal.
right?
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah. So I
That's
mean,
true, and
you're
there's
damned
some-
if you do, you're damned if you don't.
I was busy looking up somebody else who was when I did Maury all those many years ago. Well, oddly, when I was in New York, Elaine Kuba is the woman who was on the show with me, who was an Elaine Stein, who was a Hillary Clinton a lookalike, and she was on the show, and she's the one that I went to breakfast with at Caesar's Palace in Vegas all those many years ago, and people were all abuzz about Hillary and George being at breakfast together. Yeah, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go sit at the Forum Shops and eat breakfast.
You don't know.
I was trying to find her, but the point of
Content class.
I don't. Did anybody mention the fact that though she may have felt like she was on death's door, the ridicule had she not shown up, we would be hearing
You're
that
absolutely
Would've been worse.
endlessly.
Yeah.
See, she couldn't even show up for the.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, she wasn't
Yeah,
really
that-
a great New York
and somebody brought that up
senator,
in
and-
the board about
It's
that.
a very damned if you do, damned if you
Yeah.
don't. Like
If
she
she had
showed
stayed
up
away.
and was too sick,
Right.
and fuck her for being
but
sick.
you
but
could
if
tell
you stayed
from the
in
way
bed,
she looked, like when they panned down that picture of all of them, I was like, oh, something ain't right. Like either
Yeah.
she woke up late, or something. Like her hair and makeup is dead. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was just
You're right.
odd.
I was just talking to my mom about this the other day. I think I don't know, even on some of her good days, somebody needs to be traveling with her because her hair needs to be on point.
Yeah.
She's looking, and I realize she may not be feeling as well, but from the next
looking older.
55 days,
Yeah.
she needs to be on every hair.
right.
in
But really,
place.
with Trump running, we gotta.
I
No,
just
but
I
yeah,
just
agree.
need
and
our
that's
girl.
a horrible thing to say. But
I just need our girl to look on point and done
Sure.
every time. She needs to walk in with every little thread.
And quite frankly,
She needs a buzzer head like Obama.
The same thing would
love it.
be.
She's got a Sigourney Weaver it. You know what I mean?
The same thing could be said for Trump. I mean, that's not necessarily a woman card thing, right?
No, he just needs to be together. He'll never be, but
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like if all of a sudden he showed up, even more
disheveled,
disheveled
like
than
Bernie.
he is, like Bernie.
Like,
and God knows
Right,
he wears
right.
more makeup than she does.
oh, he sure does. Yeah,
That man is pancaked within an inch of his life.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. Go ahead, fine, sir.
Oh, are we done beating it up? Good,
We're
'cause
all done beating
I'm-
it up.
Trump could have been
Will be the oldest person ever
would be the
inaugurated
oldest
for the
person.
first term.
Yep.
right.
Top 5, like in case you were wondering, because I was, so I'm going to tell people.
Teddy Roosevelt on there?
Teddy Roosevelt was the youngest president at inauguration at 42 years old.
Oh.
JFK's next at 43.
Mm-hmm.
Clinton at 46. Ulysses S. Grant was 46. And Barack
Hmm.
Obama was 47. The top 5 oldest, Ronald Reagan so far holds the record at 69 years. William Henry Harrison at 68 years old. James Buchanan was 65. And George H.W. Bush was 64.
Wow, he looks
So
older.
just, I mean, like a bunch of
George
old Republicans.
H.W. looked
He did.
older.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, and Rachel Maddow had a field day playing
They
the
were
video of
showing-
him.
I know, that's-
and I
Last
had
night.
forgotten about the George H.W.
The vomit
vomiting
in
on the,
China.
the Japanese guy, and then he went
It
face
just
up.
flopped over, yeah.
did.
He went.
Down.
Yeah.
But they said like because the doctors told him not to go to the dinner, and he went and threw up in the bathroom and had to get a change of clothes because he puked all over himself. And then Japanese meal with
Japanese
Sushi.
bullet
because
train.
you know something fishy.
Sushi.
The two things.
Fishy.
Something
Captain
seafoody comes across your palate
right,
when you're feeling
right,
a little
right,
nauseous,
right.
or a blue cheese dressing
Oh,
commercial.
yeah, yeah.
When you're hungover or nauseous, and this is thanks to Gina Cerise. If you're hungover or nauseous and you see a blue cheese dressing commercial, that game is over. You are just vomiting. There is
Oh, I've never had that issue.
I think they stopped playing them on TV for people's safety and comfort. Kind of like McDonald's got away from the clown. But,
Could be.
oh, Gina used to always say that every time she'd see a blue cheese dressing commercial when they would pour the chunky blue cheese.
Oh. Which I do love, but not when you say it like
Not
that.
okay.
No. Not when you say it like that.
She's a wise woman.
Yes. Sir. Or ma'am. However you self-identify.
Well, a woman who lost her job said that her colleagues gave her a cake, which perhaps was the most uplifting message that she ever could have received under such circumstances. She says, quote, "My entire department was eliminated, and they decided to do our job at the corporate office rather than locally." The woman, identified as LlamaFace9603, wrote on Reddit, "After we
Is that her
unknowingly
given name?
trained them to do our jobs for a month, here is what we get in
I
return."
will not apologize for art.
So the cake at their going away party, I thought was apropos.
I'm with you, Letterman.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Oh,
I
I like that
like
cake.
it.
I like
I
that
thought
cake
that
a
was-
lot.
I have a follow-up cake story in the surprising turn of events.
Really?
Tell me.
Maybe you used to smoke some hooch back in the high school
You
days.
have not. You mean last week?
Maybe
Kel Surprise.
Kel Surprise. Maybe had a slight addiction with my friends to Carvel ice cream cakes. The Thai cake, same as a whale cake. If you if you lived back east, you know about the Thai.
I know exactly.
Thai
about
cake
that.
and the whale cake. Today it's a Thai cake.
When did you become a guy?
You got to hear his voice. And YouTube the Carvel ice cream commercials.
I'm
They're
like, what
a delight.
happened?
So we just got sick of pretending it was somebody's birthday. So we were kind of high in the Carvel store, and we told the lady to write "fuck me till I bleed" in red icing,
And she did.
and then started laughing so
boy.
hard we lost track of time or space for quite a bit of time. And we're presented with a cake that said that in red icing, and then brought it back to my house, where my family was like, "Oh, we'd like a piece of cake, maybe not this one." And then when my
Ain't you heard of leftovers, Alfie?
somebody eat the letters. So years later, when my friend Shane moved
just
out of
like
my
candy.
moved out of my apartment and moved to
Is that an alarm clock?
moved back to Seattle, we got him a cake that I had the guy write in red light and "get the fuck out." And we presented it. It's just so funny to make people write horrible things in red icing on a cake.
That is really funny.
But it's a treat.
Nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee.
Fucker.
Get out.
But that is the cake that when we ran out of my world famous
Sarah Lee.
Things I want to eventually write on a cake.
Dear diary.
Dear God.
When we ran out of the what are those TJ Friday drinks? The muddy waters, mudslides. The bloody waters. That's a different drink. So
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I feel like if you put a little strawberry daiquiri mix
all of
in
a sudden
there, you're in good shape.
suddenly it's two things. So we ran out of the mud cake. What's it called? The
it's
mud
the-
pie. What's that shit
I'm
called?
electric.
The mudslide.
Mudslides.
Woogie, woogie, woogie.
I guess I gotta
Why'd you
check that.
confuse me?
We ran out of the mixer, so I started throwing ice cream cake into the
Oh.
blender.
You've mentioned
was
this before.
delicious.
Yeah, that's what you've said.
Delicious. And then I can't remember what the second thing was.
What's red and
good
green?
stuff.
Goes 100
Oh,
miles
so
an
when I
hour.
get my
frog in a blender.
what's
What's black and white, black and white, black and white, and red?
what's that?
A nun falling down the stairs.
What's black and white and red and can't go through a revolving door? A nun with a spear through her neck.
Wow.
Real, truly tasteless jokes.
That
I like it.
escalated
Wow.
quickly.
I like it.
really fast. So whenever I get the
Write
make your
nuns
own
down.
Yeah.
People who
I don't
won't
think
listen
we
to
had
the-
a risk of them listening anyway, but I like to be clear.
Oh my God! It
God.
took 5 years to get rid of nuns.
So-
That's awesome.
I know. They hung on. Hang in there, kitty. That's what
They
their poster
believe.
says.
They believe.
So whenever I go
Sorry,
to the,
sister, you're out of
make
here.
your own
They have
Bloody
the
Mary
alarm.
Tie a
bar,
knot in
They
that
have the
rope.
alarm clock.
when I go to the Make Your Own Bloody Mary bar and I just drink the vodka, I call it my postmenopausal Mary. She don't bleed no more. This thing is clear.
That's fun.
God.
Are we still
Hysterectomy
on
Mary?
headlines? What are we doing?
We are. We are.
Hysterectomy Mary. I like it.
That cake gave us a lot of mileage.
It's really the
I'm
DNC part.
It is, right?
We're having a little DNC.
DNC Mary.
Dusting and cleaning.
Yes.
Well, I thought that we
There's
would
an alarm
have
clock in here.
Could you get that thing out of there?
Solar. That's odd.
Sorry, more of us a double D girl.
Wow.
Oh,
I don't even know what we're talking
Marty,
about anymore.
don't you have? Are you? Is it me?
France.
What are you on?
Dear diary.
Dear di-
Who are these people?
who the fuck?
I can't remember
There was
where
a
I am.
12-year-old boy in Mexico that on a happy note, and no kind of jacked up stories about things, he stood
We'll be the judge
up-
of that.
Well,
Right.
I think this is fairly simple. That it
Clayton's
won't
all
be
ready
a
to Google.
Nope, no need to. 12-year-old boy that stood up against anti-gay protesters in Mexico.
Oh.
Oh, I think I saw this headline. I didn't read it.
Yeah. There was a photo of a 12-year-old boy in the middle of the street. And if I send that to your
But just messenger pictures
yeah.
is the easiest.
Okay. Anyway, he was in Celaya, something.
Oh, go for it.
In Mexico.
Wow.
Just do it.
And
I feel like I've
went-
been there before.
Anyway, he stood in the middle of the street trying to block thousands of anti-gay protesters, which
They
I
speak a
thought
strange language.
for Guanajuato is what it is. I don't know. So over the weekend,
Juanto.
Guanaj.
Bingo was his name.
UATO.
Bingo. Oh, I'm sorry. Jay, what is it?
I'm sending it to you now.
Guanajuato.
T-O.
There you go.
Guantanamo.
That's where I was going to go with it. But over the weekend,
nothing.
thousands of groups protested against same-sex marriage across Mexico after President Peña Nieto proposed to change the country's constitution to allow same-sex marriage nationally. Same-sex marriage is allowed in Mexico City as well as these other five places I can't mention because I can't pronounce them. Gay marriage is still illegal in many of Mexico's 31 states.
There's the picture of him right there.
Yeah, just a fantastic kid. The image of one child standing up against nearly 11,000 protesters has captivated viewers. The image recalls for
Tiananmen Square.
elements.
That's
right,
exactly what I
yeah.
thought of.
Yep.
Exactly.
They compared it to exactly that. The famous photograph of Tank Man protesting in Tiananmen Square in '89. At first, the photographer thought that the child was only playing, but when the photographer later asked the boy why he was standing in front of the protesters, he said, "I have an uncle who's gay, and I hate people that hate."
I love it.
Yeah, and so he wandered out there and
I thought you were
stopped
going to
all
say.
of them.
I thought
I think
you
he's
were,
in Guanajuato. I think. By
not sure.
his spelling.
I thought when he was interviewed, you were going to say, "Why did you do it?" And he goes, "I got a show to do."
Yeah.
I
5, 6, 7, 8.
I am.
Oh, check the email. We have an update to our cartographer.
Can you image,
done,
can you send
yeah.
that picture to me in via Facebook Messenger, please? Because I can't get to the email on this. That would just be the easiest way to get it to me. I have one more story in the old headlines, and then we're going to turn it over to Al for whatever he's clamored together for his segment called entertainment.
There was thought and planning involved today,
Oh,
and
well
baking.
done.
I knew about this from watching Colbert last night, and I thought it was quite funny, so I wanted to share it in case You didn't hear about this. Amanda Carpenter, a CNN contributor and author at the Conservative Review, well, she got stuck in an elevator at the Amtrak terminal in the airport in Baltimore back in February, on Valentine's Day, actually, February 14th of this year. Well, lucky for her, Amtrak was more than happy to reach out 7 months later on September 7th with this tweet. She says, "Hey guys, I'm trapped in an Amtrak elevator at the airport. Can you help me?" 7 months later, "Hey, we're sorry to hear about that. Are you still in the elevator?"
Are you still in Baltimore? Is it,
timely.
is it BWI Baltimore? Somebody help me.
Yes, it is Baltimore Airport. The funny Colbert said last night, well, their schedule of their replies on Twitter are just as timely as their trains.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Consistency, folks.
I love it.
Consistency.
Yeah. See, that's what we're looking for.
How are you feeling these days?
Are you still in that elevator? How's it working out for
Have
you?
you found food?
I recently tweeted a corporate entity, and it only took them 2 days to get back to me.
Oh, who
Yeah.
did you tweet?
Fry's Food Stores.
Oh, do you care to share the whole story?
About my shopping bag incident. I was very unhappy.
Where you had like 70 bags and 4 items?
Yeah, so I went to the grocery store Sunday morning,
I have that picture.
realizing that, we had been invited over for lunch, and clearly I needed to bring the liquor
Yeah.
because I needed liquor. So.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
I understand.
You never want to come unprepared.
I did Sunday, and Sundays
right,
are for
right.
mimosas, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
If there's
no,
not
you can-
champagne,
That's the rest of the
There are all
story.
kinds of things.
listen to me. If there's not champagne and orange juice in a glass in
Yeah.
front of me, and it's Sunday,
Yeah.
shit has happened,
Shit's
and
hitting the
somebody's
fan.
gonna die.
Right. I understand.
Somebody's gonna die. So I go to the grocery store, and I'm not really paying a lot of attention because it's Sunday, and I'm unhappy that I'm out of my house anyway.
Of course. Pissed off.
Right.
Who's not?
And so I'm buying I like leave the house and get all the way to the grocery store, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to bring any grocery bags. Shit. Well, I'm only picking up a few things. It's gonna be fine. Like, it'll be one plastic bag.
I'll be all right.
Ugh, but fine. Because I'm very, very anti-plastic bag. They're
I am
the
with you.
most destructive, single-use, useless. Like, they are the worst thing in the world.
Oh, sure.
And so I go to the grocery store, and you can see here, this is all I bought at the store.
They double bagged the orange juice.
I bought champagne.
They double bagged the champagne.
I bought orange juice. I bought a can of peaches because the love of my life, she loves peach Bellini and not a
Appreciate that.
not a mimosa. So we have the
I'm
peach
not
schnapps
opposed.
at the
I
ready.
just eat them out of a can too. I love them.
Well,
too.
sure,
Not
yeah,
opposed.
canned
Sure,
peaches are a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, pick that up.
Good time is not really what I would say, but I gotcha.
Sure.
Good time.
They're a good time when you mix it with peach schnapps and champagne.
I'd rather
think
stare
it'd be
death in the
delightful.
face, but
Right.
go on with
Yeah,
your story.
fair enough.
exactly. You're not the peach fan.
Pineapple rings are a
And
good.
having made a chocolate cake, we remembered that our host did not like chocolate, so I bought cookies.
Fair enough.
Because
Well,
fuck you, but I still
Polite.
brought the cake, and I
well,
ate the
yeah,
cake.
yeah.
We're
Sure.
very, you know what? Don't invite us over for lunch. We're terrible, terrible house guests. Anyway, so I get home and I'm like, I pick up my bags and I'm like, well, all right, whatever. And I just take them to the car and I get back home and I unload my stuff and I go, wait a second, I got more fucking bags than I got things. Why is this a thing? Like, can we bring back some bagger training? I could have honestly really done with one bag.
The orange juice it has a handle, doesn't
Right,
need a bag.
doesn't
As
need
a
a bag.
handle. Champagne is fine. I'm just gonna cradle that like a baby. And the other two things could have gone in a bag that would have been fine. I got 5 bags and 4 items, so I was very cranky that morning and fairly upset about it. So I tagged Fry's Food Stores on Twitter, and they got back to me today and they said, "Well, that does seem excessive. What store was it? We'd be happy to share this with management." So they actually replied.
Very nice.
That's
I know.
nice.
That
And
is
nobody
nice.
looks at me funny because now if I forget my bags and I really today I had to go to the store because I realized I needed shredded cheese and I wasn't sure if he was going to have Pam.
Sure.
And I
Not a person.
I'm loving this.
Pam,
Gal
we don't know where
Pam.
we still don't know where Pam is. So
Pam.
silver alert on Pam. That's still active.
I like
Silver.
that. Silver alert on Pam.
I love silver alerts on anybody. They're just a good time.
That's good time.
I
So-
need that map up behind Kat. That would be awesome.
So I mean, it was just funny that like no one blinks an eye anymore when I walked out with the shredded cheese and the Pam and the receipt, and
Oh yeah, I refuse bags everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Even if I forgot to bring one, odds are I have 2 very capable children with me, and I just start handing them crap.
That's my
We-
new thing
we
now.
walked
If
it
I
through
forget
this
the
store,
bag,
we're
is then
getting it outta here.
and if I forget the bag, and like Harrison made me do this, like then you don't go. Then you pick another plan, or you just get what you need that you can carry out.
right.
Sure.
And half the time I can juggle.
We can get the 3 things out of here for sure.
I agree. I don't like the bags either, but I've I've gotten to the if I don't take mine with me because I have the paper ones or I have the fabric ones you can take with you. I bring them home and I save them all in a big thing, and then I take them in the huge ball and I shove them into that recycle thing that they've got at the store.
And hope that they recycle.
And hope that they really recycle them. However, I heard just today on the news, I forget if it was MSNBC or CNN, there is a group of women, older women in Tennessee.
Who use them as diapers?
No. They collect them from everybody donates them to them. They cut them in strips and they tie them together, and they call it plarn. They roll them in balls of plastic yarn. And they actually make these. They knit mats together that are 3 foot by 6 foot, and they donate them to people who are displaced in areas like who've been flooded. Oh. And they're actually sending them right now to is it not New Orleans?
New Orleans?
Is it New Orleans where the flooding is? I thought it was Louisiana. Well, New Orleans is in Louisiana.
Right. It's one
But
different.
they were-
What a lucky coincidence.
Yeah. But no, I was wrong.
We're
already.
so good at
But
geography
that's what.
today.
Yeah. Further south, New Orleans.
Well,
anyway, that's
can you
what.
fix that
so
map?
it was the only thing. It was the only thing that I could think of. Well, that's useful. But then still,
But it's still
Where are they
fairly
going?
single use.
no, you're right. It is. It is. But I'm like, okay, you can use it for one thing, but that's still a single use. I really would like to eliminate them all. I was at Subway today, and
We need
they
to start making bags out of a material that is biodegradable.
Sure.
Don't you
right.
want to go back to The Graduate and have him not say the future is plastics?
Yes.
Like, I just want to go back to that moment in The Graduate and like stop that guy from saying that. But the one thing, like, I use them and I have the cupboard full because I'm not convinced they recycle the stuff at the store.
Right.
But when I travel, I do the dirty clothes with them. My shoes all go in the plastic bags so that my shoes don't touch clothes that they're packed in with. So I
Right.
wrap them up. But it is just kind of fun, like all the different uses. Like, there's a bag out there that I brought the stuff over to go in the basket
Sure.
to go, but it's going to come home with me to
Sure.
go back in the cupboard for its next
reuse
use.
something, right?
Right. And I have cats, and one of them is mostly indoors still, so there's like a kitty litter usage. Like, I get having a second use. I just don't think that they should exist, and I'm just
Oh, yeah.
overall fairly
No, I'm-
against them, and I'll jump up on that soapbox and rant and
And
rave
it's
about
another
them
one of those things
forever.
from the 90s that I like when you were like paper or plastic. Well, of course, plastic. You don't want to kill
Plastic,
trees.
clearly, yeah.
And then you're like, oh, Jesus, were we so fucking wrong? You know what I mean? Like, wow, did we miss the boat on that one? Stop cutting the trees down, too.
We have I'll have to. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna bring this up. Give me just one quick second to make a change. Boom. This. This is our new map. You guys were talking about this earlier. This is the new map. What has we'd like somebody like to go
well
through and tell us
done.
what's been changed, what's been added here.
Well, we have further South Dakota, which always existed. And then south of that is,
I love the further south Scottsdale. That is
Further
my
south,
absolute-
Scottsdale. I
Yeah,
get
that's
that.
look
my
below
favorite.
further south
Palins
Dakota.
and moose are in Alaska. Yeah, that's good.
Who's our
fantastic.
cartographer? Oh, that's
Carolina
handy.
is there now.
Newer Jersey.
Well, in fact, if you look north of Iowa, Missouri, Iowa, look up. There's Here Be Meow Cow.
Yeah. Exactly. It's awesome.
But I love,
I love this map.
Yep, this is a fantastic map.
oh,
Newer New Jersey is on there.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
just Newer Jersey.
Newer Jersey.
Newer Jersey. My
New
bad.
Jersey,
My bad.
right. Maryland, West Virginia, D.C. I got that. Further North Carolina. North Carolina, South
fantastic.
Carolina.
it's funny how Virginia's smaller in this story
Well,
because of the further North Carolina.
Yep,
how the states got their shapes.
Why is no one else enjoying as much as I am?
Where is
Beneath further South Dakota.
North Dakota, South Dakota, further South Dakota.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Oh
Okay.
my
Kansas.
God! I
So,
did not even
Omaha
see that.
is now
That's
an
my favorite. That's fantastic.
Omaha's not a state.
God damn that.
No, but it's Nebraska. But I'm saying Omaha is now in
Yeah,
Okay,
I love that.
I was picking the city out of the state and putting it there.
You did better than I
We
did.
should
'cause
send
I,
this to Obama.
Yeah. Well, to Trump. You could convince Trump and Giuliani that that's a real place.
Probably.
That's amazing.
Giuliani's a fucking nutbag. So
Before
probably.
we go to your entertainment segment, I was going to play something about from Mr. Obama because I heard this today and I immediately jumped up, ran to the TV because it was on. I thought it was so funny and I wanted to share it with all of you. If you haven't already caught this, it was fantastic today. Did anybody see Obama today on the news? Or on
Negative.
So just listen to this. It's about 45 seconds long, but I just love this. I know this is just a random. Wait, I have to do this. Boom, boom, boom. Oh hell. Okay, here we go.
So now, let's face it, Republicans don't like to hear good news right now. But it's important just to understand this is a big deal. More Americans are working, more have health insurance, incomes are rising, poverty is falling, and gas is $2 a gallon. Thank you for reminding me. Thanks, Obama.
I've never heard him say thanks, Obama. That was funny
I
to me.
already miss him.
That was so funny.
His speech today was very good, and I was watching MSNBC, so they didn't. They had in the quiet box in the corner
That
was the Trump.
Yeah,
I
doing
enjoyed
his counterterrorism thing or whatever the hell he was doing.
I am gonna cry at Hillary's inauguration for 2 reasons, and number 1 being no more Obama.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll still be around somewhere doing something.
I'm excited to see
Supreme
what the
Court
girls
judge.
do, and I'm excited to see what he
can
does, and
Oh, and Michelle. Sure.
I mean, but I'm excited to see what his girls do, because I really think they're going to be something.
Get the fuck out of that house.
Yeah,
Is what they're gonna do.
no kidding.
They're
Well,
done.
my thought is,
And I hope that they
DC
enjoy
gets-
themselves.
DC gets statehood, and Mrs. Obama becomes one of the first senators from
From DC.
from DC.
Sure.
Because the problem with the carpetbagger thing that Hillary did by deciding on New York as her home state.
Sure.
Is they're staying in DC and have stated that they're staying there
For 2 years, right?
Yeah, for 2 years. So there's Congress people. You can be a U.S. representative from DC. They have
Oh, but there are no
representatives.
senators.
There are no senators. So she's kind of in that weird place. But I think him as a Supreme Court justice would just be the
So much
cat's
fun.
meow.
Oh, that'd
Just
be.
tits on a
sure.
whore.
Sure.
There's that.
Good times.
Alfie, you ready to go?
Sure, we can bake something.
Can Hillary, once she's elected, like on that first day, put his name in, or no? How does that work?
Yes. But
Well,
there
they still
is.
have Garland out there, so you gotta figure out.
But
what to do with
Garland's out there, and if the Democrats win the Senate, then they get sworn in on January 2nd or 3rd. So they have a session with Obama as president for like 18
Oh, that's right. I
days.
forgot about
Okay.
that.
So they could approve the nomination. They
Okay.
could get the 51 up or down vote.
They could get some serious like lame duck shit going on.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they could turn that out.
They could
And
crank some shit out.
and because the filibuster laws, I think they didn't get I think the filibuster laws that everybody was worried about getting passed because it could work against them, that could hinder them a little bit. That filibuster law that everyone was like, don't do it, don't put your finger on that button because that's gonna come back and burn your ass.
I'm not familiar with what that is.
That was when they said you could filibuster unless you had like 60 votes, and they were trying to do it to screw over the Democrats when they were in charge of the Senate for the while that they were, and they were telling the Republicans like, do not
Okay.
make that a thing because you might win a small majority and just spend your life not being able to bring something to vote, not realizing they were going to collapse on themselves and they were going to shoot down their own votes.
Got it. Okay. Thank
So
you.
yeah, it was a thing.
All right, here we go. Al Perkins in entertainment.
Entertainment! We have a little bit of small something from the Death Den. We have the news from the Schmemmies. We have 2 movie reviews to share with you. I have a little bit of from Kat's recommendation of the podcast, something from there, and an update from the worst show on TV. And I feel like there was one more thing, but I'm out of time.
Grey's Anatomy hasn't come back.
Next week.
Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, Lord.
I do not understand this show. And I admit I spent most of the summer resisting the So You Think You Can Dance
Sure.
kids show.
Sure.
Well, first they should have told me that Robert was going to be on every fucking week as a prominent performer, and the young person that he was working with was going to come that's close to winning it. Spoiler alert, he didn't win.
Oh, sad.
But he was on to the last minute, and he's in all these group numbers, and he's bye.
Enjoy dinner, Aaron.
Bye, Aaron.
Thanks for joining us, honey.
Thank you. I swore at him earlier. I feel bad.
He don't like you at all.
He's mad at me. So I really did. I resisted, but the dancing again was
Don't be mad.
so good on So You Think You Can Dance. The performances were amazing. The kids were very good, very, very talented. There was nothing icky about it. It wasn't child performers. Like, they really challenged them. I ended up crying through the whole fucking show, just like I do in the regular So You Think You Can Dance. But then that shit show of So You Think You Can Dance with, like, people with no rhythm whatsoever standing next to someone who can clearly dance, making assholes out of themselves for 2 hours, is still on the air. I do not understand the show. So Ryan Lochte, who I do not understand why they left him on. That's over. He's an asshole. He's a human turd.
Cheaper to keep her, probably.
Probably, but really, is that
Because the comment that I saw on that was that was contracted before
right? It was probably a pay or
the
play.
Olympics, right? And probably cheaper to keep her.
And pay or play is if you get that
Sure,
kind of a
right,
deal.
rather than break it.
Did you
They
see
make
the-
enough money.
Did
that
you see
I
the
think they
protest that
coulda-
happened during the
Well,
show?
that's what I'm
we're
leading
getting
up
into.
to.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. So I mean, and the deal with the pay to play or pay or play, that deal in Hollywood is you're going to pay me this money whether this movie gets made or not.
Right.
So if the deal falls through, I still walk away with my check, and like big stars get it. He's not a big star. Like even if they promised you, what the fuck could they possibly be paying these has-beens to show up on what's it
I don't
called?
even know.
So,
Ballroom shitheads.
Dancing with the
Dancing
Stars.
with the Stars, and none of them are stars. Let's also be honest.
No,
about
they haven't
that.
been stars since season 2. Like,
Yeah,
I-
it's a list of
avid
people I've
viewer-
never heard
Rick
of.
Perry
Right.
is on there.
avid viewer of seasons like 1 and 2, because it was new and exciting and very fun and had dancing. I was in.
Yeah,
And now we're in season 745, and I don't know who any of these people are.
right.
Maureen McCormick.
Which I would probably.
Did she make the spices? Like, I don't even know.
Marsha Brady.
Marsha
Oh,
Brady.
okay.
No.
I would probably watch to see what
Wrong
she looked
age.
like.
Right.
So last night, Ryan Lochte finishes whatever the hell he did. Did he do it well? Did he do it bad? Who cares?
Who cares?
Who's in?
No, and he did not do it well, from what I understand.
No,
that
don't
was
even
part
know.
of the big joke. Yeah,
But
I didn't see it.
protesters ran out. I don't know if they were Brazilian. I have no idea. But they ran out with their no Lochte shirts. Ran out. They were tackled by security. They were hauled off, and it was on live TV. Luckily, the camera was on Carrie Antanabe. I don't blame her at all. I enjoy her a lot. If I said her name right or wrong,
You did
I enjoy
not.
her. Whatever her name is, I like her.
Carrie
Me,
Ann and Alba.
her. I like her. Big fan. That's where that's
I was with you no matter how you
Yeah.
said it. I was like,
That's
oh,
how-
yeah,
that's
that
where the
could've
That's
accolades end.
fantastic. Yeah.
So so you think you're Dancing with the Stars. That's a Meow Cal. Bravo. That is it.
been- with all the wit in the Meow Cow tonight.
So
I know, right?
they came out, they tackled him. It was all off camera. They went to commercial. They came back, and Ryan Lochte was just heartbroken.
She was.
And then they went out, and I guess someone tried to interview the protesters outside.
Because there were like 4 more of them, I believe, up in the stands. That, from what they said, they.
Yeah, all they showed was the two guys, and the one guy was like, "There's just better athletes out there to put on your show," and it just seemed like one of those like, "Isn't this obvious?
Right.
Like, why are you arresting me? Like, isn't everyone kind of sick to their stomach and a little disgusted that this asshat's on TV?"
And they didn't go after him. They just ran out there and were
Yeah, they didn't
yelling
tackle
things.
him at all.
They didn't even touch him.
And I think Barbara Seville said he hid behind his.
He did. He
his
jumped behind the
much
girl.
more famous
Yeah.
partner.
yeah, he jumped behind the girl.
But
That
it
made
was
me
one of
laugh.
the I think it was the camera angle. I think he was just peeing his
Oh,
pants
I'm
a little
pretty
bit.
sure he did.
I did too. He's an asshat.
Yeah, he really.
He had it coming.
Oh, he really did. But just the whole thing about I can't fight that fucker. Just useless.
Yeah,
Back to tits
their
on a
names
whore.
are Sam Sotude and Barzine Cerruti.
Okay, Cerruti.
And Bartucci.
But it was just so funny that he didn't have something horribly political to say. All he said was, "There's just better athletes out there." I was like, "Oh my god, this guy's protesting like that's not real butter."
And the fact that right, and the fact that
that was the level of protest.
that Ryan
Okay.
Lochte was interviewed, and he really it really hurt me. It really.
'Cause
my
you're a
heart, It
douche.
broke my heart that
you're
they
a douche.
shut the
the
fuck
fuck up.
up. You're a piece of shit.
You couldn't find your way out of the plastic bags that we're trying to ban. If he
He
was
really
ever
is.
unintentionally
Dumb as a
tied
brick.
We
into
could
one.
put Lochte
Dumb as a
into some
brick.
plastic bags.
You can
I feel
breathe
like
better
I'd
if
be
you
more
tie it a
on
little
board.
tighter.
Yeah, right. Please.
Just that
It's like
little
a necktie. You
tiny
really want
bit.
it to be.
Pull it. What
So
is
I
it?
have 2 movie reviews for you. One has been out for a while, and I'm just embarrassed that it took me this long to see it because it's a delight, and that is Bad Moms
Okay.
with Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
Maybe
With
that sounds,
Ashton.
That sounds
Right?
awful.
With
Ashton
Ashton.
Kutcher's wife and from the 70s
Christina
show.
Applegate, who seriously
hysterical.
It's delightful at all times.
you cannot
The
do
sweetest
enough
thing.
things with Christina Applegate. Yes.
Yeah.
Sweetest thing, one of the funniest
Oh,
fucking
Always
movies
funny.
I've ever seen.
And Jessica Hahn, who again, she's another one of those people, never one of the likely suspects in the comedy movies, but she was in We're the Millers. She's the wife in The Other Camper in We're the Millers, the Stone movie with
Right,
Jennifer
right, right.
Aniston. And she is so fucking funny in this movie. And it's vile
fact-
language. It's in the worst possible taste. They're doing all these things that you should be arrested for. Like, they talk on the... And it's funny the things that you don't even realize that they don't do in movies anymore. But she gets into an old car, and she has to... Because you can't Bluetooth. She's talking on the phone while she's driving. You know they've all just had beers.
Sure.
Like, they really are bad moms. But but the laughs are just genuine and funny. And they get off a joke in the worst possible taste in the middle that I'll share with you all after this is over. I won't ruin it for everybody. They get off the worst possible taste joke, and it slayed me. Like, I think the audience got up and like asked management for me to leave the theater because I was done for the
Just
rest
howling.
of the movie. Done. Carrie Wan Kenobi. That's it. That's her name. So, but bad moms, see it, enjoy it, be ready to be offended. I mean, if you're listening to this show, the bar is pretty low to what can offend you. This will do nothing to improve your faith in humanity. And then the other one that I saw today, and my crush on John Krasinski just knows no ends. I've been doing a little. I did my little like view of The Office. I went through and watched highlights and favorite episodes.
I'm in the middle of season 2 now because of you. Thank
And
you.
let me the basement's just flooded with that boy. He is so fucking cute and adorable. Well, he directed a movie called The Hollers that's out right now with Margot Martindale, Buddy Early and I's favorite. She was in August Osage County. She's in $1 Million Baby. She's on The Americans. She just won an Emmy the other day. She's on every show, every movie you've ever seen. She's just usually third tree from the left. Well, in this one, they finally brought her front and center, and the movie is about her. John Krasinski is the star of it, is the younger son who goes home because there's been a family crisis, and it's just really good. It's Anna Kendrick, John Krasinski, the father from 6 Feet Under, whose name I never remember, Richard Jenkins. The cast is just it's just good. It's Charlie, whatever his name is from It's Always Sunny in
Chocolate
Philadelphia.
Factory?
No,
Oh.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie
got nothing.
Day, I think is his name.
I'll allow it.
No, I have nothing.
And it's just a nice movie because they let all of them just be them. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
that's fun.
You've got all these actors that have their little quirks and idiosyncrasies and just lets them go at it. And it kind of like Garden State meets The Office.
Okay.
Like, because Jim does a lot of, and his name's not Jim, but John Krasinski does a lot of like
His name will
looking at
always
that can't
be
be
It's
Jim.
always Jim.
But he gets in that thing where somehow he still manages to like look at the camera and roll his eyes. So it's just really charming.
favorite part.
Nice little like tear jerker for the fall
Okay.
to get you into the spirit of the you know
The oncoming
the
holidays.
oncoming onslaught.
Sure.
And this weekend, of course, as we know, it's not just 9/11, but it's also the Toronto International Film Festival, which is the official start of Oscar season. So,
God, already?
and I meant to have
right?
more of that ready, but
Goes by fast.
Yeah.
Birth of a Nation, named on purpose because of one of the first movies by D. David Griffith. That's one of the most famous of the original movies ever made, and it was a kind of like pro KKK.
Okay.
Horribly racist. This movie is about a slave rebellion, and it's on purpose called Birth of a Nation as kind of a fuck off to that other movie. But it's been getting great reviews all year, and then it turns out that the director of the movie, Nate Turner, was involved in a rape case. And now there's a great backlash kind of coming against the movie, and people don't know what to think because you're in that like love the artist, you know, love the art, hate the artist. You know what I mean? Like you're in that weird place of like it's a great movie, but there's all kinds of good things that came out. And next week I'll have more of that ready because I completely forgot about that till now. But Bad Moms, oh my God, sweet Jesus, that movie was so filthy funny. Filthy
times.
funny.
Entertainment wise, the one thing that I forgot that I did because it was before I came here was without being here last Tuesday was I finally saw Neverending Story. I had never seen that before.
Oh, from
It's like
the
a
80s?
Treyu.
yeah,
and-
Atreyu
and the Luck Dragon. and-
I've
all
still
right.
never seen it.
I had not ever seen that, and
Hurry,
Aaron,
Atreyu, hurry.
right? And Erin was like, "Oh, I love that movie." She's always talked about it, and it came out, and they're doing a lot of different things in the theaters. Like The Shining's going to be back out in the theaters before Halloween.
Oh, Silence of the Lambs. I gotta look at that
Breakfast
date.
at Tiffany's is going to be out, and I can't remember what the one other one is, but
Just be ready, because there's parts of Breakfast at Tiffany's that are not good.
no.
That movie gets universal praise, and Mickey Rooney plays an Asian guy in that movie, and it's
Right.
Oh, right. That's
Amazingly
right. I
So
remember that.
offensive.
offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
and there's a party scene in that movie that don't make no kind of sense.
I love the
Okay.
party scene.
Okay, and I've not ever seen that one either. So, but it was really cute. It was really cute to just kind of go and be sitting in the theater watching. Not everything super digitally enhanced, and they had
Yeah.
a thing beforehand of how they made the movie, and just really was something else. So it was
Aaron's
a lot
already
of fun.
turned off, but I didn't like that movie.
Oh, you did? Well,
But again, that really came out at the wrong age for me. Like I was just
sure.
the days of like, oh, that elfin magic shit was
Right,
over
and
for me.
that
Right,
isn't
right.
that isn't a thing for me. Like normally, any
Yeah.
kind of sci-fi kind of stuff, not my gig.
I would probably
but I-
go back now and have a different view of it than I
Right,
did.
and I think that's why. Like
Yeah.
going back, knowing she enjoyed it so much, and kind of seeing it through her eyes in a way of like with her memories. But it really was pretty fun, and seeing the dad and the mom walk in with their little one, and like the little one wasn't, was super good in there, and was just mesmerized by it. And
Plus, I hated that song. Oh my God, Lamal's follow up
sure.
to Too Shy Shy Hush Hush.
Are
my
you
God,
on?
I used to call it the
love
never-ending
Lamal.
song. Oh, I
love
hated that
Lamal.
fucking song.
No, I mean I just love them all. Like just his hair, I thought it was always great. Anyway, digress. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, so I mean, but I'll have more because
Well,
there's a
no.
couple things to watch for from the Toronto Film Festival. There's a couple really good things coming up. But in Silence of the Lambs will be next on October 11th. We'll be here unless we find a reason to not be. Silence of the Lambs will be in the theaters for Halloween, and it is still my favorite movie of all time. It's still, I think, the greatest piece of cinematic achievement ever accomplished. Let me think. Where were we? So
Sorry
we'll go with
about
a sad and unexpected death. I thought Alexis Arquette, sister of the whole Arquette family.
I would say she's from the Arquettes.
Yeah, the father
The
was.
family.
If you saw Waiting for Guffman, the father was the narrator. I mean, it's a family of thespians. One married. I can't remember any of their first names, but Rosanna is desperately seeking Susan.
Patricia.
Oh, yeah.
won the Oscar for Boyhood and did
John.
Medium.
Yep.
I can't remember the cop.
There's David, there's
David,
Patricia,
David.
there's Rosanna, and there's Richmond.
And Richmond, and so Richmond put in the odd thing I thought was Arquette's brother Richmond shared a statement in which he chose to use male pronouns despite her identifying as female on Facebook, and said he died as he lived on his own terms. And fuck you. It was fast. He didn't say fuck you. He died as he lived on his own
good.
terms. I am immensely grateful that it was fast and painless. It was an incredibly moving experience. I am humbled and grateful to have been able to have been there as he began his journey onward. Thank you, Alexis. I love you and will always love you. Just had many gifts. Was always around the art scene in LA. He's in a movie called Threesome, which was the first place I saw him, which I thought was a really filthy movie at the time. And he's in Pulp Fiction. He's got
right.
roles. There's roles as a boy. I think he was only in one movie as Alexis. That I think he's in White Girls maybe.
Okay. That
He
makes
shows
sense,
up
actually.
somewhere in a movie that's on cable all the time. In my mind, it's White Girls. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's the. You wanted me to
Oh,
find
yeah.
an image of him.
Yeah,
Her.
but I
That
thought,
was the thing, though. I believe that it was that he wanted he. And
That's why I wasn't sure.
whatnot. Yeah, because from what I read, that Alexis Arquette spoke about himself as himself, right? Him, her, that kind
Yeah.
of, or not going.
and
with
it was
her,
a big advocate.
which was interesting.
Yeah, a big advocate for trans issues. One of the first celebrities that
Sure.
did the transition and did it so publicly.
that's why it didn't make sense to me, and I
The
don't know if I was
experiences were
misreading
documented
that.
in the film Alexis Arquette, She's My Brother, which debuted in 2007
Okay.
at the Tribeca Film Festival.
Yeah. And it was very public and
And they were from what I understood, everyone was very accepting. Like it was.
Oh, yeah.
As far as her family.
yeah,
His
as
family.
liberal as a family was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but she, however, self-identified, really just very positive images. The family portrayed everything very, very normally. I remember an interview with, I'm going to call her Monica, that's not her name, Courtney Cox.
Oh,
When she was
right.
married to David.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
when she and there was something on there about the support of her family, and was very supportive of, and that was just when it was happening, and with the interview at the end of Friends and stuff like that, and like the lack of diversity on Friends, and she was,
Right.
they were saying like, well, clearly we all come from diverse places, because Friends always got that criticism that they lived in the only all white New York.
Right.
They
right.
lived in the one pocket of New York City that was all white.
That's right.
We're not going to talk
That's
about.
where Santa lives.
Yeah, it's where Santa lives.
Santa is white.
So
Absolutely.
famously named the Schmemmies by Kathy Griffin, because she was nominated and won 2 of them. This past weekend was the Creative Arts Emmys, and not a lot of surprises. Game of Thrones won the most. FX's People vs. O.J. Simpson won 12, which was the bulk of the awards that they were that they won. So let's just see where we get to things of interest. Don't know what that is. Outstanding social TV experience is At Midnight with Chris Hardwick on Comedy Central. If you watch The Walking Dead, he's your host of The Talking Dead, and he has a special on another network. He's turning into the Ryan Seacrest of the basic cable.
No, I hate him already.
Outstanding non-prosthetic makeup was American Horror Story for Hotel. And then there's a Game of Thrones one for prosthetic and non-prosthetic. Outstanding comedy actress went to, in a weird thing, Amy Poehler and Tina Fey co-hosted Saturday Night Live last year for the premiere of Sisters, and they were nominated as a team, which is very rare, and then they won as a team for Outstanding Comedy Guest Actress.
Do they get 2 statues, or do they have to do like a custody
No, I
share?
don't know.
think
They
they
each
both
got
get
one,
a-
though.
I think they give them all one.
That's awesome.
You get a statue, and you get a. You get a statue.
Production design, costumes all went to Game of Thrones. Sorry, I didn't go through all these. Outstanding cinematography, Fargo for the 2nd season,
good,
which
yeah.
looks like it's not going to win stuff because I think the snowball of the People versus O.J. Simpson is unfortunately going to roll right past Fargo,
Okay.
and we're going to leave my Kirsten Dunst in the
In the dirt.
in the dirt,
Kirsten.
unfortunately, which really
Well,
makes
she's
me
part
sad.
vampire. She'll crawl right back out.
Yeah, you got to hope so.
Cute.
We're looking through.
very good.
Outstanding music and lyrics, Till It Happens to You from The Hunting Ground, because it was a CNN documentary, so it gets to compete at the Emmys and the Oscars. I think that's cheating,
Okay.
but they got it. So Diane
Cheat.
Warren and Lady Gaga got their Emmy. So
Good.
you can check Emmy off of her EGOT that she's working towards.
Interesting.
Sorry, I got to go through this because comedy guest actor, one of the weirdest categories of all. Peter Scolari won for girls. Peter Scolari of Bosom Buddies
Buddies.
fame
Yeah,
with Tom
yeah.
Hanks. In the original list of nominees to be a guest actor, you had to be in less than half the episodes. And if you watch Veep, and now I can't think of his name. The guy, oh God, Pete. It's the guy from Sophie's Choice. Anyways, because they showed in the episode that got him over half, they showed him in a videotape. He's not in the episode, but they cut to the videotape
Okay.
to him like shouting obscenities at a schoolroom full of children. And so it's an episode that he's not really in, but they included it, so he got booted off the list. And so Peter Scolari got put on the list for technical errors, and then he won. So he started off the nomination being like, well, we got to put somebody in the slot, and then that's the guy that won. So I thought that was a weird little twist.
Yeah.
They're not all in order. I'm sorry. They took them, I guess, in the way they did it. Outstanding drama guest actor Hank Azaria, Ray Donovan. Hank Azaria, he wins Emmys all the time for all of his voice acting
All
on The
the
Simpsons
voices,
because he
you
is
bet.
The Simpsons.
You bet.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, he won too?
Outstanding interactive program, The Late Show with James
For
Corden.
Best Second Coming.
So I love it that James Corden got himself an Emmy in a weird category.
Carpool karaoke category.
No, not for that. But Outstanding Drama Guest Actress, Margot Martindale wins her second Emmy for The Americans on FX. If you're not watching, make that the next show you catch up on. Because The Americans is so good. It's about the Russian spies living as
I
Americans.
did see that.
And it's really good. But Margot Martindale got her second Emmy for that. Outstanding host of a reality competition show. The one that everyone said anybody but this one will win was RuPaul for RuPaul's Drag Race won under some really stiff competition, including Ryan Seacrest's last year as host of American Idol. So he had never won before, and he was going in as the sentimental favorite. So really no one thought anyone else in the category had a chance. And then RuPaul pulls it off for a show I don't enjoy.
She lip synced for her life.
But his acceptance speech was really funny. His interviews afterwards were very charming, and just how disarmed he was by winning. He had a touching tribute to Alexis Arquette. That's how I found out that she had died, was in his tribute that he did in honor of the occasion. Outstanding documentary series, Making a Murderer. Outstanding documentary nonfiction special, What Happened Miss Simone. It's on Netflix if you have not seen it, as to what happened to Nina Simone, where she went.
Oh.
It's riveting with great music.
What's it called again?
What Happened Miss Simone. And I think I'm almost done. Outstanding writing variety series. I think we're all going to cheer for this one. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Yeah.
Appointment television. Let's
Yes.
just say it. And he's finally back next Sunday.
Is he?
Yeah, so the Emmys are back next Sunday, and then John
Next
Oliver's
Sunday,
back.
I thought it was the 25th.
Oh, I thought it was the 18th.
It might be. I'll look it up because I thought it was the 25th.
I'm
but-
like counting down the minutes.
I know, me too. That's why I'm like, damn it, it's a couple more weeks.
Outstanding variety special, Late Late Show Carpool Karaoke primetime special with
Corden.
Corden. Yes, so he did win that.
Oh,
So he
I
won-
was joking. I
no,
didn't even know.
so he got 2 Emmys in smaller categories. That really makes it good because they'll do the best talk show, and I think he's up probably for writing for a talk
It
show
is the
too.
25th. You have to wait
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So best character voiceover performance, Seth MacFarlane for Family Guy.
Oh.
Which he needs more.
Right.
And then I think everything else is going to be next week. Outstanding short film, comedy, or drama series, Children's Hospital on Adult Swim. If you have not watched,
I've only seen 1 or 2 episodes
they're
of that.
very funny.
And there's a clown on that one I'm not afraid of because he's so funny.
Okay, there is one thing you got to bear with me. Outstanding costumes was The Wiz Live.
Oh, wow.
Good.
Outstanding production is it? No, that's not it.
I enjoyed The Wiz Live.
Oh, I did too.
Like, I was not. I was not
That was my-
nostalgically attached to.
That's my favorite.
Unoriginal.
That's my favorite of all the live musicals on stage.
I just
So far, yeah.
They started with the best. They started with the best original musical was how they helped themselves, and then they just put it on and added one
Sure.
song. But I thought that was really good.
I just
Yeah.
didn't need Mary J. Blige in that one.
Blige.
Oh, but see now that's
yeah.
it's one of my favorite. But I love her.
I don't.
I'm a big.
I
fan.
wasn't mad about the whole thing. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I did, however, hate Grease Live. Real bad.
I don't like Grease, period. Like the whole, I've not liked the movie. I don't like any
You're
of
not
it.
the one that I want.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying to me?
and dear God, you being a karaoke host, you'll understand the pain.
Oh, those
well, he
summer
used to host
nights.
karaoke too.
I didn't know. I
summer-
just worked through it.
Summer nights. That's if I never hear that song again, it'll be too soon.
Because they hit all of the notes
So
at one time.
yeah, all of
the
them.
notes.
All of them. So, and then the outstanding choreography. I was hoping for something from So You Think You Can Dance, but America's Best Dance Crew tied with Catherine Burns for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which was if something from So You Think You Could Dance couldn't win. I was so glad that Crazy Ex-Girlfriend got an Emmy for those crazy fucking dance numbers, including the yoga one. So if you're not watching Crazy
Crazy
Ex-Girlfriend,
Ex-Girlfriend. What am I doing with my life, Al
oh,
Perkins?
that's the show.
What am I doing
that's
with
the
my
show
life?
you weren't here for. I was talking to Nina Simone. What was her name that was across from me? Ricky.
Daniel Ray,
Him.
Bootsy
Limone.
Bootsy
That's
Limone,
it.
Nina Simone. It rhymes.
I liked it. I liked
That's
it
a
a lot.
that's a
So
Oh, my bestie.
They look a little different.
very
wait,
different.
I gotta write this down.
We know where one
My-
is.
Crazy what?
Right.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Crazy.
I forgot you weren't here. We haven't talked about the best show on TV. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Network?
The CW, but it's on
it
Netflix
on the
for
Hulu?
sure.
Yeah.
It's on the Netflix for sure. It is a musical TV show about a woman who leaves her high-paying lawyer job in New York
Look at
to
me
move
circling
to
it.
like Modesto, California, to stalk her teenage crush from drama camp when she was 17, and hilarity ensues, and it's a delight, a delight, a delight, a delight.
This is more exciting to me than Mozart in the Jungle right now.
It's as good as Mozart in the Jungle.
Is it?
It is.
Because I have to wait till December for that.
All original music, all original songs, and crazy fucking shit. And the best part is when she goes to her new office, and I think it's Modesto or somewhere awful in California. She goes to the new office, and the lady's like,
Right
she
down in
went
Modesto,
to Yale,
California.
she speaks Mandarin. Why is she here? And then she like torments this woman until she finds out she's stalking a cute guy, and then she's all on board. So the only time she's nice to her is when they're in full stalking mode, and it makes it the best. The rest of the time she's shitty to her. But when she wants to go full in on being a crazy stalking bitch, this woman is her best friend.
Shut the fuck up! It's all on Hulu.
Oh, it has to be. And it.
Oh no, wait.
She
Just recent. I'll find it.
the actress that plays, she writes it. She writes the song. She does everything for the show. But the woman that plays the lead, she was the surprise win at the Golden Globes for Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical. That they had her sat way in the back, and it took her a week to get there. And she was like, "What the fuck are you people thinking? Nominating this crazy show?"
Right.
But it's a delight. A delight.
I am.
And then a little heads up for the philanthropists in the group.
Oh.
There is something called Amazon Smile.
I love
Yeah,
It works
that's
works
awesome.
just like Amazon.com, but you do Amazon Smile, and then you pick the charity of your choice that you want 0.5% of the price of your eligible purchases to go to this event. I also go through davidpakman.com to get money for David Pakman's independent news show. I don't do that as much anymore because he was a little too heavy into the Bernie. But I'm back because now he's on Clinton. But so I do Aunt Rita's Foundation as my charity, who is also
that's very
doing our
nice.
AIDS walk. So you can. They have a list of like 3 or 4. Oh my God.
There's quite a few. You know, I already have mine attached to my kids' school's parent-teacher organization.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So, and all of the shopping that I do, because I'm this close to buying groceries on Amazon. Like I love.
I am, but I did a couple price comparisons, and I'm like, it's not worth the
It's not
the
worth it?
convenience yet. It's not there. It's
Okay.
we're getting there.
Oh, wait till after the show and I tell you all the things that deliver now. It's crazy.
All the things deliver everything. You never have to leave your house again.
No.
We're gonna start doing this show
I am
by
so
phone.
going to be Sandy Bullock in the net. My life's dream to finally turn into Sandy Bullock in the net.
That's exciting.
I would rather be Sigourney Weaver in Copycat, but that's a horror story, and she almost gets killed by a serial killer, so I'm going to...
True.
Oh, no, there's a killer in the net, too. Really, there's no good way to be home.
There is no good way.
Being homebound. So Amazon Smile, please do it. It's Amazon Gives.
Yep.
It takes nothing out of your pocket, but it's just a great way for Amazon's model of never making a profit or whatever it is they do.
right?
whatever it
Whatever
is
they
they
do.
do.
I'm convinced that of all the evil empires, they're my favorite.
Oh, it's good to have
I
one.
totally agree, and I have all of the Kool-Aid. I have their devices.
Oh, yeah, I am.
I have their credit card.
I don't
which
have
then
their-
gives me the points.
I have their alarm clock up my cooter and my grandma panties.
Is it is there USB device called the Fire
Wakey,
Stick?
wakey.
I have the
that's what
Fire
have.
I
Stick.
don't have that yet, and I mean, I told you weeks ago I signed up for the Prime, but I don't.
The gift
Is
that
there
keeps
not?
giving.
Is there not an app on your Apple TV that you can
there's
use the
something,
Prime
but
Video?
it seems horribly slow, and I'm like, I think the stick is something I need because
Yeah.
that's what Carlton has. He's
The
got
voice
this.
one?
Oh no, I
Cute
take that
voice
back.
one.
He's got some other stick that he puts in his.
He's got a
TV.
Chromecast, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, he has a Chromecast.
Right.
You're correct.
The Fire Stick is very similar. So the Fire Stick is
Because my thing, it comes up and it says Amazon Movies or something, but I don't know if that's the full thing.
It is.
it
Is
is.
it?
It's going to be, if you were to buy a Fire Stick, number one, they're not very expensive. They're $35.
Right, I know that. Yeah,
Number two, it's going to be redundant to your Apple TV
okay, because I do have that.
because you just install the same apps. Like it's just the vehicle that gets you your streaming Netflix, your Hulu, your
Okay, so
whatever,
I've already
whatever
got
all
that.
of your video apps
All
are.
right,
If you
I didn't
have
realize
all of
that
those
was the
things,
same thing.
and Apple TV has an Amazon Video app, you don't need the Fire Stick.
Okay, well then I have that.
Okay.
Got
Yeah.
it. I didn't
You
realize.
can, you
And
can
mine
also, if you have the ability to cast, you should be able to.
I
do
do
it
have
from
that
your
too.
phone,
I just thought that the app, it seemed to me, and maybe I just haven't delved into it enough.
up my grandma.
I like. There you go.
That's not how any of this works.
I unfriend you. I just thought that the app seemed
Canton
a little bit
Plus.
antiquated. Like it wasn't up to speed. I'm like, it seemed
and
like
that might be Amazon.
It seems
has
like
been kind
Amazon
of-
should have been. I would have assumed to have been a little bit more on it
so
technologically.
much.
With your TV, the problem is you have to type things in,
and that's hard.
but you have to do it on remote. So the flicking it off your device, you flick it off your bean.
Oh.
That works pretty easily. But I
With
go
my
Especially
remote
in the
control, I
morning.
can talk
but mine
it and
goes
it
through
does
my
it.
TV or goes through my Blu-ray player. I can get there, but I get better sound from my Blu-ray player.
Oh.
So I just
I
go
have
to
it
the
on,
app on
I
my
have it on
Blu-ray
my Blu-ray
player.
player as well. That's both places.
Oh, and I'll bet your the Amazon app is probably better on the Blu-ray player.
Yeah, it is faster than the one on my TV.
Yeah.
I have an old Blu-ray player.
Well, then fuck that Blu-ray player.
Well, it's time
Get
to
it.
But no, I have a brand new Apple TV. Like I have the
yeah,
new
your
one,
Apple
so-
TV should do just fine.
Right. No, but again, it just seemed like the app was. I'm a little slower, older technology. It seemed like, but
I'm very excited because now this winter you can watch all of the favorites that are coming out,
I won't.
including
I'm sure I won't.
a brand new season of the one that I was really rooting for. So Amazon does this thing called pilot season where they put out like 12 different pilots and you're supposed to watch them and give feedback, and then they decide based on feedback like which ones that they're going to greenlight and actually make shows of. My very favorite from last season's pilot season, because I actually watched them all, and like a nerd, I actually wrote to Amazon.
Good girl.
I know.
There you go.
And my favorite of the...
I think I remember you talking about
I
this.
did, and I said if they don't make it, I'm going to just go find Amazon and start beating people up. And they made it. It's coming out on October 28th.
So what we've
They
learned from this
listen-
is they react to threats.
Right.
I will not negotiate with terrorists.
I will not.
If you don't make this show for me, I'm going to
I'm
come
showing
cut
up.
all of you. The name of the show
fulfillment
is
center near
Good
me.
Girls Revolt, and it was about women in journalism in the 60s, which
Oh.
wasn't a thing. So it was just about these, just like girls, like young girls, like 20-somethings who were just bucking the system, and they're like, nope, we can do this too. And I
Right.
loved the pilot so much. I'm so excited that they made the show.
Oh, that's very
And
interesting.
where will it land? What network?
That's an Amazon original,
Oh, good.
so it'll be on Amazon Prime.
And now it's a legitimate. With the way the TV is going, it's a legitimate place to land now.
Absolutely, no, it's a great place to land, and the way people are cutting the cord more and more and more, like you get more viewership of
Yeah.
the Magic demographic. You get more viewership of the Magic demographic on the streaming devices than you do on primetime TV a lot of times now.
But it's the commercial problem. Like,
Yep.
you got to pay for your
which
for
is kind of
subscription.
pissing me off a little bit because Hulu nabbed you in with the pay your subscription and then you get all the things and less commercials. And now I feel like I'm just paying for my commercials.
Right. Yeah, it is a thing.
Now
and,
I'm paying you to feed me commercials.
and now that everybody's willing, now that everybody's willing to do the Arrested Development thing, where now if you go back and watch that 4th season of Arrested Development and how much green screen it is, how almost never are those people on the same set together. The only person in every scene of that show is Liza Minnelli. She is
that's funny.
she is the through piece to the 4th season.
God love Liza.
Oh, and she's just right. If I haven't talked enough about Lucille too, she is so fucking good on that show. But everybody else is green screened in,
Oh, wow.
which is why
I
all the
didn't know
cutting of Portia de Rossi's hair, like she has to have a crazy wig on because she cut her hair, but it has to take place the day after she had long hair. So there's always this blonde with a bad wig that you see her back. But now they're all willing to do it because you don't have to get everybody's schedule to combine. You can just green screen them in.
Sure.
And actually, Dexter did that because it wasn't filmed anywhere near Miami. So it turns out almost all of Dexter was done on a soundstage in front of a green screen of Miami.
We really need to get on this green screen technology.
Oh,
We
yeah.
really
It's
need
just
to-
crazy when you watch how they're filming stuff and who's there and who's
They
not.
have real technology there.
I
on
wanna
these
film
shows.
that.
I
I
don't.
got- from a
They got
soundstage.
Showtime money.
Those you mentioned earlier just a second ago about cutting the cord. Those motherfuckers. I went in and I said, "Look, listen, Missy."
Listen, bitch.
I said, "I am this close to being done." I said,
they offered you some good
I'm
shit, didn't
I'm
they?
gonna be done the day after elections are over.
it's hard to do.
I'm probably gonna. So I walk in. He's like, "Well, what do we need to do?" And I'm like, "You don't touch my internet. Don't." But so I got a new modem. Actually, internet speed went up again.
I saw a posting about
Cheese
that.
and
That's
rice.
crazy
It's insane.
talking.
But I said,
I
I'm
want
really
you to
pretty
be
much.
my official Cox representative.
I'm done with this whole deal about, I have 300 channels of chrome-plated crap that I don't really want. And I'm like, and I don't give a shit about ESPN. Tell them to take their 73 cents out of every dollar and shove it up their ass. Well, I walked out of there with a $45 less bill every month. And they're like,
Yep.
oh, how about that? I'm like, well, I can get through the elections at least. Okay. So we'll see how this is going to work.
It's really hard to give it up.
Yeah. Well, and then they gave me, of course, everybody's getting that little, they keep talking about the little box you have to get for your other TVs. The little because they're all going digital.
The contour.
The little,
Yeah.
the little mini box is what
No,
they're
it's your people that are still getting away with rabbit ears somehow.
which
the
I
digital
figured out.
box.
So they gave me the box, right? It's free for the first year.
Yeah.
Well, I got the box. Well, I hooked the damn thing up. I have less channels than on the rabbit ears that I had on my bedroom
Yeah,
TV.
right.
I'm like, fuck, I don't need this little box because I really don't watch TV in my room. I have my Apple TV in there,
Right.
and I used to watch Frank and Gracie on Netflix until I realized how much better the sound was in the living room. I'm like, well, I'll sleep in here. I'd rather fall asleep in the recliner with surround sound
Right.
than in my bedroom, and I don't get the full effect.
Well, and I'm also like super disappointed in what is reality or not reality, digital live broadcast TV. When they took us all off of the rabbit ears and we all went and bought converter boxes or whatever we did. Now I've got a digital antenna and supposedly, the upgraded TV that I have to put like a 28-foot cord on and put the antenna like literally through my house in my backyard to get channel 12.
Oh, well, I didn't. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
you
well-
can get an amplifier, an inline amplifier for
I'm not
that.
throwing more money at this
You can
thing.
pay them just come to your house and scream the news at you.
No, and I only
Lynn
Option.
Cooney's available.
No, she doesn't
yeah.
work there anymore.
Oh.
I think
Well,
like,
now she's super got time.
She works. No, she works for Hospice of the Valley. She went to work for Hospice of the Valley.
yeah, lots of times
she is
she's not
super
working.
free.
Jesus.
No, because I've used the antenna for a couple of things. I used the antenna I think last year to watch the Tonys and like something else live that was hard to find streaming. Now everything's just streaming on YouTube. Fuck all
ABC
that.
presents the
Right.
75th annual Emmy Awards.
Perhaps I probably won't watch that either. I'll probably watch highlights on YouTube.
Right.
But
Emmy Awards, not
should
great
I-
award show, but you've at least heard of everybody. So that's
Right.
that's the payoff. Like
That is helpful.
you've heard of all the people. The celebrities are all TV Guide level celebrities, so you know who they're talking about.
Right.
Nobody gets too hoity-toity.
Well, if I decide to watch, I'll be sure to drag out the 28-foot cord in the antenna and walk it out to my pool. Because you have to kind of face the thing towards wherever the tower is, and
Yeah.
it's a whole thing.
So
Mine is just
South.
against a brick
ABC.
wall.
Yeah. No, from where I'm at, all of the broadcasting is south of me.
Yes, either North Mountain or South Mountain.
Yeah.
True. That'd be
So-
actually be west and south.
and
Anyway.
I think they might, because it won the Emmy, I think they may have maybe have Lady Gaga come back and do Till It Happens to You again. I think
Can't
they may
watch
find
it
a way to
again.
find a
Can't
way
do
to
it
fit that in.
Find a way.
So it is. I
do
mean,
it
it is kind of
anymore.
funny that. So she won her Emmy. Like that was everyone thought, oh, she's not gonna get. She's clearly not gonna win any acting awards for American Horror Story.
Right.
But hey, she won it. So she got her Emmy some other way.
got her
man.
Emmy.
That EGOT's coming, people. Don't you worry.
10 years from now, Gaga the musical.
Right?
And if you'd have told me
Done.
8 years ago that I'd be like rooting for Lady Gaga, I'd
I
been
know
like,
it. I agree.
you hot.
You'd have been
girl.
like, meat suit lady over here.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Shows up to the
That's
Grammys
exactly
in
how
an
I
egg.
felt about Gaga in meat suit
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah. I was wearing 2 shoes when I got here, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're almost there. You're almost there. Is that?
Flip-flop emergency. There's a flip-flop emergency.
So we're done with Al. And did you throw together something, Kat?
Well, sure. I
Well,
could.
here we go.
I maybe could. I don't know that I need a headline kind of a stinger because I feel like I'm gonna.
I just like to play it because we paid for it.
Did we pay
No,
for
we
it? Did we
didn't pay
pay
for
a
any
lot
of
of
this.
money for
No.
it?
I stole this from
I
something
feel
else.
like all of this is royalty free.
I just steal it from the BBC.
We love the BBC. Thank you, BBC.
You're
You're
welcome.
so kind to us. And
I have something for you.
Oh.
and there's gifts from
Apparently
Marnie,
something
and
British.
many things are happening. So I'm not sure. I put together a couple of articles and a couple of thoughts. Did we?
Just two.
Right. Two
Two
things.
things.
That's what my segment should be.
Oh,
write it
I
down.
think we've got it. I know.
Two
Why didn't we
things.
think of that earlier?
Right.
Two things with Kat
With
Carlson.
Kat Carlson.
And that really limits what you've got to put together because it's really two things.
things.
And it can even be one topic.
One thing with two things in it.
Both country and Western music.
Our very own Chuck Woolery.
Both kinds of music.
Two things with Kat Carlson. I love
Good night,
it.
Harrison.
Bye, Harrison.
All right. So my first thing is, did we at the last show that I missed? Did we beat the Kaepernick thing to death,
No, I don't think we really.
or have we
talked
touched
about
it at all?
We've touched it.
We've
but-
touched it, but didn't beat it to death. Because let me tell you, my Facebook feed is beating it to death, and I'm about to
me
beat
too.
some fucking
I
people
agree.
to death.
I agree.
And here's mostly why. I am not a Pledge of Allegiance reciter. I'm not especially excited about a national anthem at all times. I'm not specifically protesting anything, and I'm not certainly not interrupting other people doing it. but I don't see the big deal. And as it turns out, neither does the Supreme Court as of 1943.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are we going to
Did you
find
know
out
that?
here? No, I'm learning.
Oh, we're gonna learn something here. In 1943, the West Virginia State Board of Education v. Barnett went all the way up the chain to the Supreme Court. The gist of it was that there were some
That's how you go up the chain.
all the way up. You
All
go
the
from
way.
this one to that one to that
Got
one.
it,
to that
I
one.
got it. It's about the spider. Okay, got it.
Anyway, the issue at the time was stemming from Nazis, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So
Timely seems like 43.
seems 43,
Right.
right? So in the 30s in Germany.
Oh, the pledge. You're pledging allegiance. I get where they're going.
Right, you see
Okay.
where we're going?
Yeah.
So in the 30s, the government of Nazi Germany began arresting thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses who refused to salute the Nazi flag
Right.
and sent them to concentration camps. So then fast forward a little bit, and in the United States, the Jehovah's Witnesses and, their national leaders demonstrating solidarity with those German Jehovah's Witnesses by refusing to participate in the daily flag salutes that had become compulsory in American schools and are still fairly compulsory today. The Jehovah's Witnesses taught and still teach that the obligation imposed by the law of God is superior to the laws enacted by government, blah, blah, blah. Whatever.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right. They got awfully churchy on me, and that's where they lost me. But still.
But I came back.
But I came on back. So it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the court held in a 6-3 decision that it was unconstitutional for public schools to compel students to salute the flag, and thus overruled lower decisions that had, upheld the school side of things. And the part that I loved was in the opinion. The court eloquently stated, if there is any fixed star in our constitutional constellation, it is that no official, high or petty, can prescribe what shall be orthodox in politics, nationalism, religion, or other matters of opinion, or force citizens to confess by word or act their faith therein. We cannot be compelled.
Right.
We are not held to this.
It's a freak. It's literally what
Right,
a free country
literally a
needs.
free country. So I just don't have the energy for it right now to lose all of those friends when I say, you dumbass fucking idiot. Like, these people are exercising the rights that all of your precious troops
Fought for.
like believe in and fight for.
Well, and they're
That's literally what they're fighting
and
for.
everyone's doing their freedom of speech. I mean, the people that are
Mad about it.
opposed to it,
Right.
mad about
Absolutely.
it, they're exercising their freedom of speech as well.
Well, and
And
I
I
fully
look at
support
it,
that.
I'm the
It's-
same way.
Right.
Like, this is the freedom of speech. Like,
But don't tell
for
somebody
it.
to get out of the country because
Correct.
they're exercising our very
Absolutely.
First Amendment. That's where I
Absolutely,
lose
I
my
agree.
shit was the and
Yeah.
and
No, we're all on the same page.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
how,
Yeah.
and
Like,
how do you get to
I
you
look
hate
at them
the
and go,
troops?
yeah.
Like, no, that's not
Yeah.
no
Well,
one said anything
Right.
about that.
a black man in America wants to talk about how black men live in America.
Right.
Does not hate the
Troops.
Like, nowhere
No.
in that.
Right. Still loves the country. He's good.
Right? No, nobody knows. Nobody asked him about the troops. Maybe
And
he
then-
does, but that's
Yeah,
not what
but
he's talking about.
when-
gonna-
and he
Stay
did,
on topic.
But that's when he is for them. I mean, he's good with them, and they came out with that because everything in life is a hash brown these days. They came out with a fucking hashtag for him about
Veterans for Kaepernick.
Veterans for
Yeah.
Kaepernick, and it's like that's what we're here for. That's what we're
Right.
fighting for.
Right, and they're not a monolith either, so not all the
Right.
veterans were for it because the
Absolutely.
ones that weren't found their way to Fox News.
Well,
like
sure.
everyone found their way. It's just when you tell somebody that exercising your free speech is why you have to leave the country. No, we don't live in that country. We live in the country where you get to
Right.
stay.
The
Like,
exact opposite of that.
yeah, Trump gets to be the biggest asshole he can, the orange-haired nightmare.
Cheeto Jesus.
But Cheeto Jesus.
Cheeto Jesus.
He never listens. We've been saying that for months. So Cheeto Jesus
I'm
gets
busy.
to say his piece, and I don't wish him to live somewhere else. I just want him off my TV.
Right.
But I have
I'd like him to go live in his home with his supermodel and just go be a rich
and I
asshole
have the
somewhere
amazing
else.
power to just
Go hang
change
out
my
with
channel.
Putin.
Right.
And I
Just
had
go
to-
away.
right before Labor Day weekend, I had to have that little conversation with myself. Like, you're getting all worked up about this. You have an easy out. Change the fucking channel.
Right.
Like you
Right.
used to during the primaries. Like, when he starts talking, just change the channel.
Right.
Like, you've got the whole message. Now he's doing it in some weird, slimy, sing-songy voice that makes my skin crawl, so it's easier to change the channel.
Right.
But that's the thing. If you don't like what the show is saying, if you don't like RuPaul's Drag Race, if you don't like Dancing with the Stars, the easy thing to do is change the fucking
is.
channel. Just watch.
Totally.
Then that's what
something
I've gotten
else.
to with that. Remember when I got, well, I don't know if you remember, I get so irritated about so many things, but that Boris Epstein jackass from CNN that I kept trying to figure out his name, and I
remember that episode.
I was like,
Oh, I feel like- I feel
I
like
could
I was
not
here for
at
that.
all figure out who he was, and it's this guy. Well, that's not a very big picture, but
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're
Yeah.
on
talking about.
CNN, and that
don't remember
I've
why
gotten
we
to
hated
that
him.
same thing. Oh God, he's a son of a bitch. But every time
I think that's
can't.
why.
Mine's
Oh.
Corey Lewandowski. Like when he comes on
that's what
CNN,
you
I
were
can't
saying.
watch.
Yep,
But
and
now-
I have to turn it.
Well,
I'm
but-
exactly with you. Just
You know,
turn
there's
it.
and there's for me I think the big difference is there's a difference between I like wholeheartedly disagree with what you're saying and you're a bad American because of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's very, very different to me.
Oh, definitely. And
You know
that's
what I
that's the
mean?
whole Sean Hannity. Oh, you're a great American. No, Sean Hannity, you're not though. When
Right.
Sean Hannity assigns who's a great American and who's not, like it's one more reason to club him in the
Yeah.
head. But I just exercise my right to change the channel.
Sure. Like who the fuck are you to tell me if I'm a good American or not? Who am I to tell you like that's
Yeah.
a whole different thing. I can say, you know what? I think you're 100% wrong on all of these points, and I will probably tell you in at least two things why.
Why? Yeah.
Because
Or
that seems
just
to be
one.
what I do.
You're a fucking idiot.
No,
walk
but you
away.
know what?
But I get it.
I
get
won't even. I almost never come at that attack point. Like
Right.
I almost always have like a 7-point plan for why
of
you're
course.
wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in your head, when someone's doing that, it's just like, oh, you're a
Right.
fucking idiot.
Which is why I lay out the 7-point plan because the very next comment is, "Oh, you dumbass dyke," and I go, "Oh, I won."
Yeah, exactly.
I win,
Sure,
I win.
sure.
And
Sure.
John Jay is bringing up the distraction of it, and that's the important thing to me is why I think Kaepernick went a little wrong with what he did, because when you don't stand up, then you invite the conversation to stay away from the topic you wanted to focus on, and it becomes you hate the troops, you're un-American, you hate this, and the conversation leaves what he was talking about because it's a target that gets people in their like
Sure.
lower brain. You know what I mean? Like the lower functions of like breathing and pooping are all they have. And they just can't focus on the problem because those people can't the deplorables, is that what they're calling them?
Yep.
They can't hold two thoughts in their heads. They can't say
They're never going to be able
He's-
to listen to my new segment, Clayton.
yeah, he's upset about the Black Lives Matter movement.
Right.
He's okay with the troops. They
Right.
can't hold that in their head
Can't
because they
figure it-
see him sit down and they just freak out. And even intelligent people that I'm very friendly with that served are like, no, you hate the troops. What did you fight? And that's what I said back to the one
Right.
person I'm friends with on Facebook. Not the one person, but the person that I'm friends with on Facebook. That
The
was really
one
I'm like,
person.
well, what did you go to war for if we can't object to stuff? Like, what were you fighting for? And she was like, fuck you. Because it kind of rung home. And I think that's
Yeah.
the distraction. And especially in football, which, Nero, I love football. I forgot it started, so I'm a week behind. But
I'm in my
rapists,
third year of a
wife
one-woman
beaters,
boycott. Right.
gamblers, all these problems. This guy is doing a peaceful protest.
We're freaked out about the
Right.
guy that didn't want to stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, settle down.
And I-
Ryan
he's-
Lochte did all this shit down in Brazil.
And he's on Dancing with the fucking Stars.
Exactly.
Right.
And
Or
yet
so you
this
think you're
is-
Dancing with
so
the
you
Stars.
think
Because he
you're
put
doing
his hand
something.
on his fucking heart for the national anthem.
Right.
I
Right.
haven't done it for years, and I spent a fair amount of time. I'm actually surprised nobody's ever said anything to me because I spent a fair amount of time in elementary schools. Elementary schools still do the Pledge of Allegiance
I
every
think
day.
I spent 6 years in elementary school.
Look at you. No, I
I just
as
told her be no math.
as an adult and a role model find myself
I'm sorry.
in an elementary school for either a volunteer or a work purpose at 9:00 in the morning,
Sure.
several days a month.
Okay.
You know, I was, and it's so funny, but still, no one said anything to me. I think it was the week after Kaepernick had made headlines, and I'm sitting in a PTO meeting. I'm sitting in the school library with all of the other moms, and we're, talking about the bake sale and the whatever. I wasn't paying attention. I was online, to be honest.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with book fair, so I wasn't really listening. I was just there. But anyway, so 9:00 rolls around and they do morning announcements, and then they start the Pledge of Allegiance, and everybody stands up and they do the Pledge of Allegiance, and I kept my seat and I kept doing what I was doing, and I don't personally, I'm not comfortable with like that compulsory, that obligatory like
Yeah.
public declaration. I don't have to. I'm also not a big fan of One Nation Under God. Blech.
Yeah, that kind of ruin it. If you ever
kinda
get the
ruins it
chance,
for me.
read it out loud without that phrase, and it's a very well written. It's
Sure.
it's very succinct and well written.
Absolutely.
And then they add a parenthetically under God,
Yeah.
France. You know what I mean? You end up with this
Was
like
that in 1954? Or am I
in
wrong?
the 54,
Yes.
55. It's just added because of the commie threat.
Commies, right? It was,
Commies.
seriously, no, it was added in response to outrage over communism.
Sure.
But no, I'm not.
Well, and see
my
the difference-
patriotism comes differently.
and
Yeah.
and that's the thing that I think is very okay with the idea that it comes differently. On the other hand, like, I don't look at you and think you're a piece of shit. I look at it and say you have that right,
Yeah.
and so do I, because I am the type that even though my hair gets all kinds of fucked up, I'm going to take my hat off when the national anthem starts,
Right.
and I want to be at the football games when that happens. And when Kristen Chenoweth sang on Sunday, and if you haven't heard that, go ahead and Google that.
No, I have, yeah.
For
I'm sure
the-
she can
I mean,
sell that. Yeah.
she was unbelievable. But I just sit there, and when it's done, I mean, please, before my game, it was Billy Ray fucking Cyrus, and I thought I just need to go and cry right now. But
Well,
I
just don't tell
get
his heart.
his achy breaky one. But I just get the chills, and I stand there, and I'm taken over by it, and but that's just me.
Right, and
That
the one-
doesn't mean
and mine
that
is-
anybody else is wrong.
Mine has no thoughts for troops or military. Like, I don't go there at all. Of all the nerdy things in the world, I think it's a really well written song.
Okay.
Like, it's a stirring
That
anthem.
does
and when
make you gay as
when,
Christmas, and
yeah,
I do
when
appreciate that.
when it swells, like when the
This
rocket,
is news to you.
the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting,
Sure.
the way the orchestra swells at that,
Uh-huh.
it's just a well written piece of music. And when I hear other countries' anthems, I'm like, yeah, you know,
I
what,
do
the
too.
rocket's red glare.
right.
What do
Oh,
you got?
Canada, oh, Canada.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
But when I
It's
hear
kinda
other ones,
monotonous.
Maple syrup and SCTV.
right.
We got it all.
when I hear at the Olympics
All that
the other
healthcare.
ones, I'm like,
Oh,
for
you and your
real?
healthcare.
Like, that's not stirring or whatever.
But I'm always pissed off when they don't pick a good rendition of ours, which I think they do on purpose.
Okay.
Like this year at the Rio Olympics, I thought that's a little lackluster. They're not moving me to tears.
Right,
Like
right,
I'm
we
right.
sure-
really need to amp up that horn section, people.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Let's get the timpani going.
I just before he even said it there in the room, John Jay, he's ex-military. I
Thank
know
you,
him,
sir.
local guy, very nice guy. I just was going to show you for those of you who don't. He was part of a local guy, Devon. Why can't I think of Devon's last name? Oh my gosh,
Shire.
No, it's funny.
Oh, funny. I like that.
No, he made
Cunt and floss.
he made headlines actually nationally from doing a photo thing where he would take people who were former military, or actually I think he even did current military. Devin Mitchell is the one who did it, and this is a picture of there's John Jay, and he did this thing where it was the image.
handsome.
Fella.
It was the image of them in uniform
I
and
saw that.
out, and it was I forget what the name of it. John, I know you're in the chat room still. Tell me what he called this campaign that he was doing.
Hot guy looks in a mirror.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, not bad.
Sorry.
but that's John. That's a couple years ago.
And that is really cool. I love that.
That's a great. But there, Devin Mitchell did a whole series of these, and he was on local TV, and I think he did it out in L.A. as well. But yeah, it is. It's Devin Mitchell. Thank you.
Is
But
it just the idea that when I look in the mirror, I always see a soldier? Or is that just that picture
it was
how they did it?
the whole idea was that they're two different people, and I think part of this, I think part of it,
It's gonna lead to thoughtful
there,
vulgarity.
there
like
may
it.
there may have been I'm not sure, but there may have been
John Jay, you should love that, 'cause
there may
that's
have been a gay
fantastic,
theme
honey.
to this. The fact that they're in military, they're
and Nan's gonna go to the bathroom with his laptop for a minute.
oh okay. Well, there's
Wash
that.
your hands.
Don't be embarrassed, honey.
Oh, and Nan,
Go
we're all
ahead.
with you.
No, he's not single. He has a charming, lovely boyfriend named Omar, who is an engineer with Honeywell,
So
if I'm not
happy for
mistaken.
you.
Very nice guy. Both of them are. Well, I've known John for I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years now. I forget how many years I've known him, but very nice kid. And Omar, his boyfriend, is a wonderful kid. So I do see him every few weeks. I see him.
Well, and thank you for your service, John Jay, because that's one way that we're sitting here fucking running our gums.
It was a gay theme. He's
Right?
confirming.
I
right there.
mean, I appreciate
It's called
it.
the Veteran Vision Project.
Okay, got it.
A boot?
Abu?
Oh my God, Anand.
What? I just clicked on a boot.
No, Anand Pritzdown, would you like to date a fat brown guy who smells like curry?
Wow. Is it because of what you just
wouldn't?
ate, or is this a
Oh my god,
consistent
this is like
scent?
such a new picture. I'm enjoying that. Oh, goddamn, that's very funny now.
Oh my God! So now Amina and Anant are both saying that in Kenya and I think in India, Anant, I hope
Yeah,
I'm reading
that's
because
what
I'm
he was
following
saying,
along,
yes,
that
yes.
they play the national anthem before. Excuse me, any gathering of 250 or more people.
Or
That was
even
at,
delicious.
like, the
It
movie
tasted like
theaters.
Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Mine
Burp
did too.
quickly.
Yeah, they said at the movies.
Cheddar Bay
they
burps.
said to do it.
Cheddar Bay burps. I'm in. But that they have to stand for the national, and you can be arrested for not doing it. So that would be the opposite of a free country.
Right.
That would.
Americans, that doesn't happen. I get to sit
There's
there and
still
continue
room.
to Google shit.
If I haven't mentioned it before, there's still room here. We got plenty of room. Come over to America.
For a
we got
Fat brown
places.
guy
Yeah.
that smells like curry. You got room for that guy?
Some people like that in
Hey,
America.
and
Yes!
Nancy, you know, I need
I'm
help
telling
with
you, yeah.
Indian food.
I do too.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to talk me through it.
I told them just go ahead and show up on my front door, just not like a clown. just
Oh, it's a
not
valid
dressed
point.
as a clown.
I said when they asked for our addresses, I'm like, you can mail anything. No clowns.
No clown.
Do not COD a clown.
And I don't know that
because
sending
he's not going to
curry-
get paid. Do they still do COD, cash on delivery? Remember
I have no-
COD?
they probably do.
Remember that expression?
I do remember
Telegram.
That was like being
COD.
punched in the cooter.
Yeah. How much is it? $48.
I always wanted to send a whole bunch of shit to people COD.
Oh, I think you still can.
Yeah.
I'm sure you still can.
What's your address again?
Yeah, right? Let's try it.
I'm not sure.
I never really knew how that worked.
It's fantastic.
So no, we did not beat that to death because we kind of blew over it that week, but it needed to be said.
And now we
Well,
have.
and
Look
now
at us
there are a
go.
lot of their last on Sunday and on Monday night there were a bunch
Yeah.
of people that followed suit, and either they are kneeling like Kaepernick has done, and the kneeling rather than sitting on the bench. Kaepernick got that from
The soccer player, right?
No, the
No, because
it was
Megan
the
Rapinoe did
military.
it
Uh-huh.
after.
and it was the military gentlemen, and gentlewomen, I believe, that came through
Feedback
and said,
he had received.
correct.
And they had
Then
Al,
they said,
I have your address. Very good.
See you in a few.
but that said, you could be, you could do this a little bit differently, and that would be the kneeling,
Right. Rather than
instead
slumping on
of-
the bench.
right. And now it's in a lot of different sports.
Yeah.
And instead, if they're not kneeling or not doing whatever, they'll do like the Olympic with the fist.
The Black Power.
Mm-hmm.
And it just
So-
an interesting way for something
Lot of
that at
people are doing
some
it, though.
point, the Republicans did Blue Lives Matter, which they do.
Uh-huh.
The Democrats did more of a slant towards Black Lives Matter, which they do.
Yep.
The problem is at some point everybody has to stop screaming at each other and accusing each other of hating the
That's right.
troops and hating people,
And
and
listen.
have a conversation about.
Yep.
What we gonna do about this?
Right.
Like, how are we going to fix this problem that
That's right.
exists? And I think what's getting lost in the whole Black Lives Matter a little bit is in these poor parts of the poorer parts of these cities, there's all colors.
Sure.
Like, this problem with policing is about the demographic of who lives there. You know what I mean? Once you get there, it's not just like they see the black, they just see everyone there is just crime ridden. And it's why I can't finish Making a Murderer. Because to me, what some people see in the inner cities, they see in this situation, when I watch Making a Murderer, and we've talked about this so many times, I just can't picture getting out of there. I don't know how that kid.
Neither can they.
Right. I don't see it. And I feel so helpless, hopeless when I watch that show of like, how will you ever get out of this place? Like the West Memphis 3, the Paradise Lost kids.
Yeah.
The
Right.
Robin Hood Hill murders, whatever they're called. Like I don't when I see those people of any color, it's that just unrelenting poverty, that lack of education, that like, where are you going? Like the coal miners that were protesting during the election, if they shove you down a hole 100 feet underground, where are you going? Like, how do you get out? Like, how do you get somewhere else? Like, I don't understand it.
You don't.
And I constantly
Is the problem.
Yeah, you don't. And I think that's the
the
problem.
answer used to be work hard, go to college, get a job.
And it's not there
That's
anymore.
not the thing anymore. You cannot.
And the world has just changed a different way, and we're leaving like that hold your breath or don't breathe movie. Like, why are these people in this situation
right.
as house burglars? Because they're in Detroit. Like the movie has something political to say.
Right.
That in Detroit there's just crime left to make money. Like and everybody is just trying to get out of Detroit. So I don't know. We've kind of gone off on a weird tangent through the power of wine,
it's-
but
the right tangent, though.
Yeah, like there's a thing that people are making black and blue, and it really is poverty. Like, you just have to get these people somewhere, like, into somewhere else. And the only way is education. If you keep people stupid like the Trump wants to, where are you going? If stupid is the answer, like religion, don't question anything.
Right.
Don't ask a follow-up question.
Sure.
Right.
Like, what did they feed the lions? Like, you can't ask a follow-up question or the house of cards falls apart.
And look at how often the two go hand in hand.
Yeah. Oh, it does.
Oh,
it
it
does.
totally
Lack
does.
of education. And education is the answer. That Bernie thing, I don't know how you do free college, but it is that, like, offering people 2 more years of school, like a
Right.
community college, you're going to get something out of it. If it's a trade, learn
Yeah,
a
but
trade.
you have to start before then. I mean, for
Oh, you
real,
definitely
like,
do. You
because
definitely
if,
do.
If it's about someone getting into college when they can't get through 6th grade,
Right. No, it has to go all the way down to early
Oh,
childhood
yeah.
education.
Absolutely.
But then there has to be a road all the way through. You,
Right.
you can't
I
just
agree.
dump them out at
You're
16 years old and
You're
say,
right.
okay, good luck. Go
Right,
fuck
and that's
yourself."
why it has to go further, or
It
like,
does.
and we say it all the time. There is no difference between not being able to read and
That's right.
not reading. As we
Yes.
enter an election cycle, and the one thing that didn't come up in entertainment, but I'm gonna throw it in now because it's only 10:04.
Books.
No,
Reading.
your
Newspaper.
podcast,
Podcast.
Presidential.
Oh,
One of the most fascinating, really dry, but fascinating.
it is. She really has a sleepy voice.
She has a sleepy time voice. Fascinating podcast, and they go week by week. Each president gets like 40 to 45 minutes
Mm-hmm.
of a little bit of research into, like, where did they come from, how did they get here, how did their policies go, where did they work, and it's very wonky. And it gets into the basics of, like, how does our electoral college work?
Yeah.
Everyone was so
Where did it
surprised
come
by
from?
George W. versus Al Gore. Not the first time, not the second time, not the third time
Right.
that something came down to an electoral college disaster of someone having to figure it out. John Quincy Adams.
okay.
John
and you-
Quincy Adams was elected by the House, wasn't he?
Elected by the House of Representatives because
Which is what happens if your third-party candidate fucks shit up. Then the House of Representatives, those fucktards, get to pick your next president. Think about that, people.
which Vice has been
Oh.
hitting hard. Vice has spent the entire season explaining an electoral college tie.
Yeah.
And the big joke at the finale of the season is, what does he keep talking about? I don't really get it. And it's all the one
Yep.
character. So he has one line through the whole show is explaining
Almost
the
vice
Right.
rapist in chief
You've-
Paul Ryan
Right.
is going to be in charge of picking
Yes,
the president
because
if
he is
That's
the
right.
Speaker
you
of the
keep
House
that
of
bullshit alive
Representatives.
with Gary Johnson.
with
Yep.
Gary Johnson.
Oh, absolutely.
So, 2 things then.
However, third-party candidates have never received any electoral votes ever.
No, and they probably won't this year. Real quick, Gary Johnson's Aleppo comment.
Yeah.
Does it get him out disqualifying? Anybody?
I actually didn't hear the comment. I heard
I
about
didn't
it.
either.
Well, no one
I
watches
saw
that
it.
show, so it's MSNBC's like lowest rated show.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I mean, I just
watch
saw the
MSNBC all the time.
clips of
But you
it.
don't watch that because you don't watch hers. It's in a weird time of day. It's a daytime show, I think.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it Morning Joy?
No, yeah, Morning Joy.
I know her, but I haven't seen
Right.
the morning show.
It's
Got
not,
it.
it's not a
Oh,
popular
yeah.
show. So,
I
anyways,
did see that.
I
we'll
saw
say no.
that, and I saw him on The View after.
Recap for those who have
and
not heard
so
it. Please recap.
He was asked. Gary Johnson was asked.
Libertarian candidate for president.
Okay.
Was asked the question.
What would you do
what
about
would
Aleppo?
you do about Aleppo? And
they had just come from domestic policy questions, so they really did turn on a
They
dime.
jumped, yeah.
and it was just very straightforward. Exactly that. What would you do about Aleppo? And Gary Johnson looked up and said,
What's Aleppo?
And I mean, clearly
Oh.
was like, what is that? And,
And
they
for-
asked again, Aleppo. What would you do about Aleppo? And he said, I don't know what that is. And then it was explained and kind of with a face
It's
of...
the city of Syria. It's
Yeah.
the heart of our refugee
Right.
crisis.
And they went
They had
on
to
up.
lead him to water, and
I'm
he
going
still
to
couldn't
tell
drink.
you honestly, I had not heard at least or let it go into my conscious Aleppo.
But we're not running for president. I don't
No,
think
no,
it's
no,
disqualifying
I agree,
because
but
of
I'm
how
just
many
saying-
mistakes everyone else has made on the map,
He
including
said that
George
he-
Bush not being
Right.
able to find Afghanistan before he was
Or
president.
reading a book upside down.
Yeah.
But he was he thought it was an acronym. That's what
Okay.
he said. He said because they did go from kind of one thing to another that was very different.
Very, right. East to west.
And he said, I thought they were referring to an acronym, and
Yeah,
I didn't know what that was.
And I really get that. So they're saying in here like the psychology needs to start in elementary school. I agree with I agree with that completely. Giving somebody some tools to cope with what's coming is a good thing to happen.
Yep.
Because and
that Puritan heritage is really
it goes back
fucking
to
us up a lot.
it does. Oh, don't talk about it. Don't talk about Aunt Sally being a little bit depressed.
Right.
One of the things with that is in Making a Murder, and it's why I find that show so like that show hurts my soul. It honestly does.
Turn it off.
I do. I can't watch further. Is that this kid has no coping skills, so he reacts to bullying in the worst possible way. But no one's ever talked to this kid about how do you you're stuck in a moment you can't get out of. I just think of that U2 song. He just doesn't have the tools that he needs to pull himself out of that situation. He's not educated. He's not street smart. He can't get out of that situation. So he keeps making horrible choices. That show, it completely breaks my heart. And then they're talking about that's how you stay in power. You don't educate people. It's how religion works. You
Exactly.
Can't ask a
That's
follow-up
how
question.
religion works.
But anyway, so back to your presidential thing. Because boy, I've had a lot of coffee today. Your presidential thing is I got to because Alexander Hamilton
How
plays
far'd
a
you go?
big part. I'm at
In the first 4 or 5 episodes, Hamilton's all over there.
all over there. But one of the things, and it keeps coming up because you talked about not realizing there was a previous capital before D.C., not knowing about Philadelphia,
Right.
not knowing about New York.
Right.
And the thing that came up in reading Hamilton, having watched other things and now listening to this, is that meeting where they moved the capital to D.C., the room where it happens, it is the most brilliant song ever written from Hamilton because it
Diametrically opposed.
because no one knows what happened in that room or how they got to it. But the one thing they do know is that Thomas Jefferson bragged about getting the capital down to the Potomac. And then in later years, he and John Adams, our second president, who were bitter rivals, became friends because most ex-presidents, because there's not a lot of them, become friendly because
The Ex-President's Club.
it's a small club. They became very friendly and wrote back and forth. They had great correspondence and were friendly to the end. Friendly rivals. Mm-hmm. I think the last thing that John Adams said when he died was, "God damn it, he outlived me," not knowing that Thomas Jefferson had died 2 hours before.
The same
Like,
day.
Oh.
Yeah.
that they died on July 4th,
4th.
50 years to the day after the Declaration of Independence was signed.
Well, look at this. More knowledge.
More knowledge.
Knowledge.
But Thomas Jefferson, later, after he made that deal, spent his whole presidency trying to get rid of what Hamilton did with New York and the banks and the credit, and he couldn't unwind that clock, and he couldn't disagree with how genius it was, and he couldn't understand how he got swindled. And he wrote letter after letter about the room where it happened, that he got into this deal, thought himself a very smart man, and was like, what the fuck who cares where the capital is? Like,
Yeah.
that makes no difference. And I gave away everything I believed in for this sweet deal. And like, I got, and Madison, when he was president, was like, how the fuck did this happen? So the 2 people he traded with became presidents, and both of them were like, what the fuck is this? They're the next 2 presidents that spent 16 years trying to undo that one meeting that moved the capital from Philadelphia to DC, and have no idea.
And the other part of that was instituted a national bank.
Right, that's set up credit and everything that we do, like our banking system still exists, and they had no idea.
They did end up, the national bank has been back and forth though. Like they did end up dissolving it.
But not
and
those
then-
2.
What's that?
Not those, they didn't do it. But
No,
again,
later.
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 But those 2 were like, the fuck happened? And the song is so genius of like, no one else was in the room where it happened. No one knows what happened, and even
This
Thomas
financial
Jefferson
plan is genius. I can't undo it, and I've
tried.
tried.
It's so interesting to hear
So fun, right?
the stories that are in this musical and hear it told from that other angle of their correspondence, being like, what the fuck? And like Jefferson writing to Adams, like, that asshole still haunting us. He's been dead for 20 years, and that fucker's still haunting us. So it's just a little piece. I'm ready for thoughtful vulgarity. And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk, because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck. Oh, that music's so alluring. Okay, so
it's not a very stirring anthem, though.
no.
Oh, it's not intended to be. Introspective more.
I can believe it, Amina.
And like she's saying, she can't look at a map now without being pissed off. And you look at the map, and it's just it's constantly changing. Like
We got new states tonight. Like we had what?
I know. Look at ours.
Further South
Our
Dakota.
cartographer was working overtime to make up
Very
this.
good.
The empires we were presenting.
Pretty fabulous. Thank you for that.
So, just a thing about like your political identity is how I want to say it, or like the issue that you identify with. And I was reminded of it with John Jay's picture because it came up this summer over something. When you look in the mirror, like what do you like his picture was very clear about, you know, his identity in that picture, not to him personally, I don't want to speak for him, but he looks back and a soldier's issues are what look back at him.
Sure.
That's what he sees. So like when you look in the mirror, what do you identify with? Like what is the image that you identify with staring back at you? Does that make sense?
Big bitch.
She stole my answer.
Oddly, mine too.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop the mic.
Al,
I'm
now
out.
we've just gone around the table. Al, now we're to you.
I don't know. I think if I'm going in the right direction, I think that there are so many things that I want to see back in that mirror, but
I mean,
I don't do enough about, and I don't mean physically, God knows, but
I don't mean to lead a horse to water.
No,
Sorry
yeah.
about the pun.
no, I appreciate it. Why the long face?
Tori spelling.
Did you previously win the Kentucky Derby earlier this year? I'm sorry. Wrong woman.
Wrong woman.
But like when you look in the mirror of like politics kind of thing, like is it women's issues that stare back at you? Is it gay rights issues that like what's the thing that's like what's the image that you see that you're kind of fighting for? Like does that make more sense? Am I clarifying that a little bit?
That's what I thought you meant. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
okay.
like, is
well,
it
then I
for-
wasted a lot of fucking
No,
time.
I appreciate it. I'm just no. That's what I thought you meant, but I mean,
Welcome to your show, Al.
This just in. Wasting time on
Al-
the show with Clayton McKee.
Al Perkins talked a little bit too much.
And there was the line.
Join-
That's where I crossed it. Took 4 years and 5 months,
Well,
and I finally talked enough.
Finally found it.
15 extra words. Al's over the line.
Cantalopopus. I don't remember the word.
Say cantaloupe. What just happened?
Cantalopopus. I don't remember the word. What I see is someone who would like to be doing more for homeless, hungry, just schools, like the kid, the underprivileged, I guess is the easiest way. But that's what I see, someone who's struggling to become better about it. But that's what if I were very good at something, that's what I would strive for, is the educational piece for and just being
So
able to make
an
sure.
educator is what stares you back. It stares back at you.
Yeah, the social worker, the educator. I mean, exactly
Yeah.
who I am. So, yeah. Cantalopopus.
I don't even know. There's so many things. Like part of that question was, what's the issue? And I'm making a list in my head. I'm like, well, we've got LGBT issues, we've got women's issues, education is a big problem, education is the biggest problem, and then you can just, like, the list goes on and on.
But I mean, that's what I mean. Like you have woman, you have gay woman, you have mom, you have. But what's the thing? Like his was so clear in that picture of it's a soldier staring back. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
What's the thing that if they took that picture of you,
What would be in the
what
mirror?
would be in the mirror?
They'd have to take 10 of them. Like, and I'm
No,
not
that's- and
like
that's perfectly- that's perfectly
I'm not
fair.
trying to be difficult. They would just have to take 10 of them because I put on 10 different hats in a day.
Okay. Yeah. That's yeah.
You get up and you mom the kids off to school, and then you go and advocate for reading and education, and then you go to the bar and you're somebody's fucking therapist. I mean, I'm delighted to see you.
I told you I would not stop by anymore. I will stop coming by. Jeez.
Therapy 5
But
cents.
you know what I mean? And then there's
Lucy,
a whole other
thank you, Lucy.
a whole other community of people that need something from you, which I'm happy to give.
Yeah.
I keep showing up because I love to do it, not because because I'm trapped in it, but
right.
you know, and so I love all the things. So you would have to take several of those pictures because they're all, I think, equally important to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
So yeah, if we're like putting ourselves in that picture, you'd have to take a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You would see different
Sure.
uniforms, if you will, kind of going
right,
with
right.
the picture that we saw of John Jay.
All the different
And
pieces.
at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm sure he would respond, "I'm not just a soldier."
Of course.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So not to oversimplify you or oversimplify the picture.
Absolutely.
Right.
No, I agree.
This is thoughtful.
I
My-
like it. I like it a lot.
Mine would be similar to yours. I don't think I wear nearly as many hats as you because I think
like
you're
hats a lot
I
more,
think
I
you're
He
a
only
lot.
has like 2 hats.
No, I just
Good call,
I
Dale,
think
both
you're
say
I think you're a lot more diverse than I am. I think you have an iron in so many different fires
Too many some days.
because
yes.
you've got your book. Oh, I said bookmobile. You've got your
got
your,
the bookmobile.
your book thing, the read. You do have a lot
Right.
more going on with you, and also you're in a relationship and a household, and there's a lot more that entails as opposed to I live alone, and there's a lot less activity that entails that. I wake up and I'm like, well, what are you gonna do today? Well, I don't know. What do you feel like doing? Well, I'm gonna get up. It's a one person conversation.
Right.
But I agree from the standpoint of I've raised, occasionally I'm the person who's out raising money for charities, and occasionally I'm hosting an event, and occasionally I'm doing this, and occasionally I'm computer guy. So there are all the few different hats, but I would add into mine, and I think this has to do, I think partially this has to do with, I just think age and maybe time of life. There would be I think I would look into the mirror and nothing would look back. I think there's a part of me at this point where I don't exactly know what I'm the most passionate about or what I'm focused on. I don't feel with where I am. I don't feel there's a career. I just kind of in a lot of ways I feel like I'm just getting every day just to go to the next day. I don't feel like we're on a road to somewhere. I don't feel like I'm really on a mission or I'm on a passionate thing. So there's those, I'm getting up tomorrow and I know I have this to do and that's my hat for that day. But I don't feel like there's an underlying consistent measure of passion there for something. I think I've kind of lost somewhere in the past few years. I think I've lost where I want to go or what I want to do with that. That's kind of how I feel.
And if I could add to that a little bit, I had a feeling, a notion, like a little over 10 years ago, where like
that I had lost my way.
No, that's been longer.
You should have told him before now.
Carry on.
God, I
my
wish you would
wayward
have brought
son.
this up.
Timely information.
But I reached a point a while ago where like there was a little bad streak in my life, and I just remember thinking, this next task I'm taking on, I don't want to just get through it. Like, I want to be present. I want to experience it. I'm not just going to do this to get to the other side. Like, it's going to be a journey, and I'm going to go on it. And then things went even more wrong, and it was like, just get me to the end of this tunnel. You know what I mean? Like,
I just want to get through it.
yeah. But it really did take a couple times of saying, like, all right, we're gonna do this for real. We're gonna invest. We're gonna be part of this. We're not just doing this to see the other side. And I think sometimes that's what you have to say to yourself is like, what's gonna give this purpose from A to B? Like, this has to mean, otherwise the time's gonna pass whether you do it constructively or not constructively.
Sure.
Those 2 days are gonna go by. So you can do something with it, or you can not do something with it.
But I feel like to that point, I feel like that's a lot of what I'm doing. I feel like we're just clicking minutes and hours by, but I don't feel like there's a drive to do something. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into that. Again, like I said, is it an age thing? Is it just the cycle in the world that I'm in? Is it the job that I do? Because in some ways that job limits you from doing other things because there's time restrictions, there's geographic restrictions to go with that. I can't I can't pull up and travel it, even though I'm not a huge traveler, but just like, I can't just pick up and go and do something because, well, who's going to take care of this other shit? Because that's part of what my job is. So there's some limitations that go within that. But again, am I doing what I really want to do? No, and I know that I'm not. I mean, I know that. But I haven't found that spark yet, or I haven't really thought, well, what's the other thing? And I do think part of what I said early in the show, if you were listening, when I was making a reference to those performers on that stage, and when you see that, you're like, they're doing exactly what they want to do.
Oh yeah,
You're really seeing their and I'm not. If you're a singer, you're a performer. If you're a speech
But
giver,
that could be what you see in the mirror. Is like you could go to your job but think when you look in the mirror you think I'm a singer. No one else may know it, but it's
Pearl's a singer.
right.
Everyone knows I'm not a singer.
Right.
Settle down.
But it does not. It's not because you're good at it. It's because it's
Right.
what you identify with. It's like the thing about you that.
You know what's funny is I've
If you
always
spend
kind
any
of
time with me and the singing doesn't stop, you're kind of like, probably if he's a
Right.
fucking singer because he won't shut the fuck up.
I've always kind of envied the artist type because they will do that thing that's in their heart, like
With reckless abandon.
with reckless abandon to abject poverty. Like people
Right,
will
oh.
art themselves into poverty.
Sure.
Oh, if that acting part didn't come with abject poverty,
Right.
I would be
They-
so on board with.
Oh no, 100%.
Like, I've
I
always
might
kind
still
of
be in high
envied
school
that.
plays. Are you kidding me?
Because I don't think I've ever loved anything that much. You know what I mean? That I was willing to.
I've told this story before, and I probably have told it here on the show. When I moved to Phoenix in '93 from Missouri, I had left the radio and TV station that I worked for back there, and I moved out here, and I immediately started to pursue jobs in that same media, and then I realized, I'm going to have to eat at some point because I can't do that. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back into media, but everybody knows media doesn't pay. I mean, unless you're Casey Kasem or Ryan Seacrest or somebody like that, media doesn't pay. If you're doing a local radio gig, it doesn't pay nothing.
$20,000 a year in that for you.
Yeah,
Right,
very
right.
few things that
So,
affect your heart.
I had to
Right.
get right. So I had to go and do other jobs, and don't cry for me. Everybody has to do the same thing. There's a lot of other things that people would like to do, but that was one of the things. I'm like, I can't do that, even though I'd rather do that because I have a payment for a truck, or I have this, or I want to eat, or whatever the deal was. So you have to leave some of those dreams, and you just get caught up in it. And I guess they just call that life.
But look at you now, living the
Oh, look at
dream.
this. Yeah, living the dream. Living the dream right here in Studio C with you three
Doesn't
fine
have
people.
to pay, but you got something to do, and
Tens of people.
yeah.
Both of them.
Eights of people.
Right. Yes. There's that. But I agree with what you're saying. I actually lost what you were saying. I got
Yeah.
wrapped up in something else.
Well, I mean, mine was the switch because as of still today, this is now, I guess it was yesterday. This is like 10 years to the day from my first shift at the hospital.
Really?
Oh, congratulations.
Wow.
My hire date was like last week, but my first shift was right after September 11th. It was September 12th. Don't ask how I know that. Because I have a calendar. There's spoiler alert. There's the answer. No need to wait for the sequel. But the one thing that I realized this summer is stuff was happening and people were talking politics and like this issue and that issue is like when I like and that picture really brought it home for me because I had said it to someone earlier and then I saw that picture of John Jay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it really struck home because
that picture right there.
yeah, when I look in the mirror, like to me, like the gay guy thing is kind of gone. It's a nurse. Like to me, it's patient advocate. It's nurse. Like that's what I do most of my life, most of the time. I have a very unhealthy relationship currently with life and death.
I'll be honest with you. I just and I don't mean this to sound as silly as it just did in my head, but I just want to see kindness. That's all that I.
Oh right, and that I would.
That's all
God,
that
I would
want.
hope. I would hope that people that see me see a kind
No,
nurse
no,
and
no,
not Nurse
not
Ratchet.
you. No. I'm saying for me when I look in there.
Right.
To just see kindness. And
You
if
walk into
whatever
rooms and go,
else-
raise your hands if you don't want to watch CNN.
I honestly couldn't.
Nobody raised their hands.
I really couldn't bring you to water with that, but that's what I think now when I think of political issues is like I'm always on that like, all right, well, what are we doing about like old people? Like, when am I pulling the plug on those fuckers? And yes, Nero, when you look in the mirror,
Never ever take me to good, Sam.
no, don't take you to me. Well, no,
seeing how it's
you're
bad.
under the cutoff age. I'd keep you alive. But
Nice to know, isn't it?
Honestly,
I haven't made pull the plug age yet.
the important part is Amina and Nero and people are bringing up. The important thing when you look in the mirror is that you see the best possible person that you can. Like,
Where's an ant on this one?
oh yeah, where is an ant?
Or Meow Cow. Damn,
So I mean
good word.
that is the most. I guess that's the most important part. Like whatever role you think you're playing, whatever it is, you have to be good enough with yourself. Because honestly, if you're sitting in the mirror just dragging yourself down, then you're just an open target for the whole fucking rest of the world. Like
Right.
on every sling and arrow is gonna hit you if you were the first one to like draw the gun. Like you have no shot. Like you have to like at least like yourself or be the best possible. Definitely lip gloss, but be the best possible version of yourself. And really, really kind of like it.
Feeling a little chapped.
And we've
today.
talked about that. Like, what do you bring to the party that no one else can? Like, and everybody has that something. Right.
Are we doing all right?
There we've got no problem.
Go this. Go
Marnie's
on.
late for the party, but she still brought something.
Right, she gets to the party.
She's gonna nay back. What was that dance she did?
Fairly
whip
clean.
and
I bring in the
nay.
wobble.
Gonna whip and nay nay.
Nay back. So,
But I'll eventually be there.
Sure, you will. On your own sweet time.
That's fucking right.
I know. I mean, I started being a nurse as a middle-aged man, and now I'm an older middle-aged man, still a nurse.
From the TV series on the Miss Young Network called Lady Nurse.
Lady,
my
you gotta
God.
say it right. Lady,
Lady
nurse.
nurse.
You gotta do it. What's the
like
butt called?
Cliff. Cliff
yeah.
does it. Well, everybody in the chat room, thank you so much for being there. It was a very active chat room tonight. Thanks,
was.
everybody.
It was
My
a lot of
gosh,
fun.
my gosh.
was a lot
Well,
of fun.
it was a great night. The biscuits were great. Thank you for bringing those. It was lovely. As we wrap up tonight's show,
Bring them, I cooked them.
let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.